when we last left our heroes, we had tailed dearest Richmond and the Shady Boys to a little old theatre in the slums. The party surveyed the situation, crept inside like mice in the night, and confronted them. There was some talking, some scuffles, a riot has broken out, and the sword that Rich holds cast flames and has now been setting things on fire. I mean, yeah, like, hey, D&D, you gotta burn down all the buildings. So, guys, Richmond stands before you. Well, essentially, he's kind of stepped to the side because when he did the thing and Esme had to dodge out of the flames, it was a case of Esme has sidestepped. So he's kind of brandishing this sword as like the entire thing crackles and burns and these green flames, lick at the walls. And the riot seems to be unyielding and unending, and the chandelier above, like the large area, crackles and rips and looks like it's about to collapse. What
did the chandelier not already fall?
Yeah, it did. It set the whole place on fire, and then he took it off.
Well, there you go, guys. Richmond is running away. The chandelier has collapsed. The building's on fire. What do you do?
Esme just says, "Okay, we're leaving," and she just heads for the side door.
Esme, to do such a thing, you will have to give me a strength check to essentially shove your way through the riotees, and the people who are currently on fire.
A strength check to elbow check.
So, can I counter that with... Esme is currently on the stage, correct?
Can I use acrobatics?
Okay, so what I'm gonna go with here is, can Esme take a running start to acrobatics forward, but then cover the basically stick the dismount with a misty step over towards the door.
You can, but to initiate the thing, it's still a strength check because long jumping requires your strength. So give me a strength check to long jump, to initiate a long jump, and then acrobatics, see if you can twirl in the air like a video game character abusing a double jump, then you can misty step.
Do a flip.
That is so complicated. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm
sorry. I replied to your complicated request with a complicated.
Listen. Now hold on. I didn't. That wasn't a justification. That wasn't a read on you. That was just me saying that's complicated. I'm not turning one roll into 3 rolls, so I'm gonna just elbow my way through and then attempt to.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Misty.
Give me that strength check. What are the others doing? Are they kind of following Esme's suit?
Yep.
You following Richmond down the dirty crime boy hallway? Or...
Nope. If she's gone, I'm gonna go.
I never used my bardic inspiration. I'm gonna use it now.
Yeah.
If you roll a 1, it would be a fun time.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see. 16, yeah.
Cool. Before we get to that, Esme, others, what are you literally following suit with Esme?
Yep.
Can I shoot my grappling hook at the ceiling and do a big swingy thing?
All right, Spider-Man.
You can, Laura.
Yeah.
Let's bring the lights down. a spotlight action going here. Very serious stuff. You can indeed attempt to shoot the grappling hook into the flaming roof.
The grappling hook.
I mean, it's gonna come out, isn't it? Yeah, it probably is. Never mind. I'll just elbow. It's fine. I won't do my cool swingy thing. One day.
You literally can still try. I'm just pointing out the fact the ceiling's on fucking fire.
What is my roll?
What is the roll to do what now?
To grappling hook the flaming ceiling.
It's a acrobatics. Just a single acrobatics check.
I don't think it matters what I roll. The ceiling's going to come down anyway.
Esme and Isadora shove, elbow, punch, and smooch. Their way through the absolute chaos that is the ocean of flaming body parts, weapons, and fire. Esme, when you're about halfway through it, you hear Coda be like, "Ha ha, Coda man!" And it shoots the ceiling and and then it just clicks. And Coda, can I have a dex saving throw, please? Also, Esme, as you hear this, you hear a familiar howl. And Esme is like, "Oh, I haven't heard that howl in a while." And then Izzy, you hear it. And then as Coda's falling and being like, "Oh gosh, if only there was a name to be given to such hubris." You also hear
you
the
literally
howling.
tried to fly out of here.
And there's fire too. Like melting wings. Oh my god, my room is a fucking sauna. But yes, okay, yeah, Coda, you stick the landing. It's a case of Coda kind of crowd surfs for a couple of seconds and is dropped down beside the other. But yes, you hear a familiar howl and you can see a large, dominating black shape appear near the door, the entrance doorway, not the doorway you guys are going to. But it's big, nasty, it bares its teeth, and it looks hungry, and it's looking right at you.
Esme looks at the other two. So where is Coda now?
Coda is, I'd say, I'm gonna say 5 feet. There's a square between you guys.
Okay, but is he standing? Is he a standing man?
Yeah. It's a case of he crowd surfed a bit and was like, "Hey, can you put me down?" They're like, "Sure, buddy, no worries." And they just slapped him down beside. No, he didn't. He half fell, caught his footing, like whoa, and he's kind of in between you guys. It's more a case of it's time is slowing and Coda's looking at Esme of what do we do?
Yeah.
As someone gets punched in slow motion in front of you guys.
Darren, can Esme have just 1,000 free actions for a moment? Esme, no, literally, Esme just checks her bag to see if Rizbit is in there, and he is. And she just says, "Hey guys, let's just start running, and we're going to run to the gate, and we're going to run away. And that's the end of our time here for a while, until all of Richmond's men are dead." How's that?
Yeah, okay.
Esme is like, "Okay, we're in agreement then. Coda, I don't care." And she just bolts for the door, and she says, "It's every man for himself."
Esme, Isadora, and Coda, you guys get the tail end of the ride. If you you kind of get bumped in the back of the head or in the shoulder, kind of thing. You just not enough to damage you, but it's a case of just it's unpleasant. But you guys round the corner to the hallway. As you go into round the hallway, you guys hear the shroud hand take off, and it starts ripping down and basically scooping down and lifting up chunks of people, and they're flying through the air, and it's biting into people as it's coming making its way through the smoking crowd towards the party. Esme, Izzy, Coda, as you round the corner and sprint towards the door that you just entered, you can see it a mile off. There's now chains and a lock on this door from your side.
I cast knock.
Oh, excellent day. With a loud pop that rings out for 300 feet, the chains shatter open. Well, not shatter, they click, fall, boom. The door slightly ajar opens. As you guys reach just essentially the threshold of the door, you see the dog, the hound, sorry, turn the corner and kind of slides, and it's kind of kind of picking itself up and it's sprinting after you, completely consuming the hallways it does. It's complete this gigantic dark shape is taking up the entire hallway as it barrels towards you guys. You guys find yourselves outside. The door is open. The hound approaches. What do?
How close are we to a main street? Where there are people?
About 50. Yeah, the side door comes out in kind of an alley, so it's if you were to go left, say, it's kind of darker or deeper into the alleyways. To the right is kind of towards the main street. It's about 20 feet. Maybe.
Darren?
Yes.
Can we see the big map, please? Can we see the area map, please?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I forgot I was on the slums. I was planning shit in my head and I had the slums up and I was on here. Yeah, one sec. Oh, God, it's blowing up. Yeah, that should load there now.
Yeah.
How far are we away from the southern exit?
Oh, shit.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. This changes things significantly. But equally, this is This is literally the first opportunity to actually go the southern route.
I mean, I'm up for it.
It's you guys aren't that close. Like, if you were to say sprint, like start running, like it would be a genuine like marathon. But you guys, in theory, could make it with the adequate road.
How many do we see a lot of activity out in the streets? What time is it now? It's nighttime, right?
It's probably like midnight actually. It's because you guys kind of left in the evening and it took like an hour or two, I believe, to get there. So you guys would have kind of been like initiating this situation around like 8 p.m. or something, just before curfew. So like you guys kind of approaching the slums wasn't too weird or dodgy, but it was more like springing the trap on Richmond, kind of like hopefully at night, that sort of thing. Catch him off guard. Sorry.
Esme turns her head very quickly to the rest of the party, and she says, "We're done here, yeah?
Yes.
That was the plan?
Yeah, cool." She summons her water horse, and she just says, "Let's go," and she just bolts.
That's what I was gonna suggest, but I was like, maybe this is dumb. But no, if you're doing it, this is great. I'm gonna get on my water horse as well.
Alright, fuck it, let's go.
She just starts. She just fairly well, shitberg, and just gallops whatever direction she thinks is closest to a wall. Like no way.
Okay, so wow, this is cool. Unexpected.
Yeah,
we were just talking about this. This
we
is great.
now fucked up the plan we had immediately set out. Sorry, Darren.
Sorry, Darren.
No, guys.
Was the original plan to go north?
Oh, the
No,
original
we were
plan
gonna
was,
wait
tonight
till
was
next
the-
week to like leave, so you know, because we thought you wouldn't be, so we thought we'd stay in your area. But this is
Well, I guess
fine.
it's going to be fun for you guys. And she's don't say.
An array of things happen. An orchestra of things happens.
Oh god.
Oh boy. So essentially, you guys summon your steeds, and like they rear up and hit the ground running. You guys are like gain a serious step, because again the horses are like on paper is rather fast, like they're pretty damn fast. So like you guys are a distance away, and then you see this hound like smash out through the door, like kind of like again slide along the ground, kind of like catching his feet, kind of like going down a bit on its side, takes off. Oh my god! As you guys barrel out of the alleyway, you guys see like the familiar slums, but the front of the theater is completely surrounded by like Hand of Uria individuals.
The second we see them, Isidore, without stopping, starts yelling, "Help! Help! It's a monster!"
We're on horses, you idiot! They're gonna come and get us!
Izzy, can I have a persuasion check to essentially for them to be like, what is she? Oh my god, where's the monster more so than what the fuck are
Like,
they doing
in
on
all
horses at this time
fairness,
of night?
Esme, what's the bigger threat?
They're not gonna see that dog. I'm gonna put money down, and they're gonna come after us because we're on horse.
Sorry, did you say persuasion, Darren? I'm not listening to her.
It was yes, Amy. It was persuasion.
Cool. That's a 23.
No.
Literally, someone's like, "They're on horses," and someone's like, "What she's talking about? Man, where's the monster?" Like, kind of like, "Wait, what monster?" And as you guys like gallop past and like essentially like jump over the kind of like police hurdles almost, like they're like, "Hey, stop!" And then you just hear like, and they're like, "Wait, what?" And they turn to the left, and you just see like a few of the watchmen just get like reefed up into the air, and this like big hound kind of leaps up as body parts kind of like go. Essentially, this thing has bitten through two individuals like a hot knife through butter. It's just clamped down, and their bits are going in opposite direction.
See the ring, Isadora says, "Is that ring?" Because if he can turn into a better dog, then I think we have like a serious game of one-upmanship on our hands, Esme.
I know. It's fine. We're just gonna have to go and kill his mates.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Let's keep going.
You guys land down behind the enemy lines, the Hand of Uria lines, and keep galloping through the streets, you hear sirens, so many sirens. The Hand of Uria soldiers are yelling like, "Hey, what about them?" It's like, "What about that?" It's a complete anarchy, complete chaos. Like Richmond is a happy boy. The towers ignite, lights begin shining. like essentially it's like if the eye towers have cast light on themselves, but it's probably like in lines with the sunlight spell. Like a radius around them has just illuminated. So like anyone hiding in shadows nearby the towers have been completely like blinded by the light in the sense that like, oh god, there's like no shadows to hide in. Can I have survival checks from everybody to essentially navigate the city during the chaos?
Sure.
Could I make the argument that I could roll a history because I know the streets?
No.
Yeah.
Sick, cool. I didn't think that would actually work. 23.
Oh, it's funny.
Esme, you fall essentially one slot behind as the others take the charge and remember. Coda being like, oh yes, I remember this way. Izzy's like, that's definitely not the way I need to go, and like is navigating purely by like instinct and like this is not going southwards. That's the bad thing. Coda remembering, Esme kind of like, I will just follow the lead.
Isidore has an internal compass.
Yeah, there you go. A nice GPS system.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys gallop turn and the entire city like awakens. Well, not the entire city, but the section you guys are in ignites. The neon sights or signs that litter the streets and the cobbles are echoing as the horsey gallops. I guess the wet, sloppy horse galloping.
Is it the wet slapping sounds down the street?
You know what? The horses are muted. They sound like normal horses. Fuck that. There's not slapping noises as you guys like gallop. So yes, you guys proceed forward. You guys know you're coming upon a checkpoint because to leave this, you must pass through a gated checkpoint. Essentially, like you guys don't have to make it. One second.
I was thinking about the gated checkpoints, but I didn't want to say it.
Okay.
What does
well,
the checkpoint look like?
Are we...
Like, is it in terms of like there are guards standing around this and there's like a little barricade or what? Or is there like a gate or what are we dealing with?
Did you not just recently go through one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We had passes. We had permits.
Well,
Yeah,
we
we
still
have
have passes and permits.
No, we gave them back.
To Kiss.
Why?
They had to be given.
Why?
They had to be given back within 2 weeks.
But
Also,
what
they
about
were
our-
for people
no,
that weren't us.
But our regular ones.
Oh, our IDs. Yeah, we have those. But we don't.
Yeah, we can just get out
yeah,
of
but
town.
you need a permit to leave or enter the city.
Okay, that means we're gonna have to kill someone.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, go on.
The checkpoints on day one were very simple, like a large gate, several guards posted kind of like a funneling system, like like walk through, they'll talk to you, how are you, what are your business in the cities, that kind of thing. The new checkpoints that you guys would have passed through, and yes, they weren't described, and that's on my bad on my part. Are kind of these like 10-foot high gates with spikes, and there is kind of there's two guards on each side. There is kind of like it kind of looks like a metal detector kind of thing, like that kind of hub. For one going in, one going out. Between these is a desk with 2 ICM units. One for the people going in, one for the people going out. That's it. And then there is like past them again is the gargantuan like portcullis and city gates, that sort of thing. But yes, that's what you would know to be the case. There's typically 4 guards, 2 ICM units, and a 10-foot high spiked gate. The entranceways that you guys know would not allow a horse, a rider and a horse together. You'd have to funnel them in one at a time.
What if we get off our horses and then compose ourselves?
I said, get off your high horses.
I'm sorry, I ran away from the encounter.
Oh no, I was literally just taking the obvious joke, but no, by all means, make it awkward and continue.
I'm kidding. I take it we're not still being pursued by the giant dog.
I mean, do you look behind you, motherfucker?
Yes, I do.
It's barreling towards you.
Oh,
Can we like duke it into hitting the barricade?
Yeah, like stand in front of the gate and then move aside at the last second until we crash into
You
we Torero it. We we have it like it's a bull or something, and then Esme will just like dance up and down, and then just dodge.
I mean, I'm red. Bulls go for red. Yeah.
It would require a performance check on the one who wishes to put themselves in harm's way.
Well, I'll try it.
Here, wait, let me assist. Try playing a bolero or something.
Mine is Cuban Isadora.
Oh my god, we are doing Cuban. Oh my god.
Nice.
What are the other two doing as Isadora attempts this, like, I'll take this one kind of thing?
Oh, Esme is just gonna put. Is Isadora attempt? Yeah, Isadora's doing the thing.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well, no, see, okay, so essentially Isadora's going to try to do the plan. I'll get to the specifics in a second, but what are the other two doing?
Go, Coda, go.
I was gonna say maybe I could throw one of the smoke bombs into where the ICMs and the guards are, so that we can like just run through when this thing smashes into the gate, and they wouldn't like shoot at us or grab us or anything. But I'm just floating that out of character to make sure that'll be a cool thing to do. It's all I can think of.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to use the smoke bomb.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I used mine.
Oh, you did.
They're pretty.
Okay, cool.
Did I use my flashbang?
You did not.
No.
Isadora, how are you using this amazing performance check? What are the specifics of your dupe?
Like, when we get to the barricade, we're going to, like, bring the horse to a stop and then get it to, like, rear up on its back legs and, like, wave her hat around like a cowboy.
Yeehaw, partner!
I mean, essentially, just, like, getting it, coming right for us, I have to assume we're going to get its attention.
Oh yeah, like, the others kind of, like, break off a smidge and Izzy's like, oh gosh.
I seriously have units reacting to this.
I'm but a humble sandwich, all left for a dog now. And the hound is like, oh yes, I will eat the madam on the horse and, barrels forward.
Okay.
So how essentially is Izzy going to, like, sidestep out of the way to, like, kind of cause it to dupe?
Like, as soon as it's, like, close enough that it can't, like, turn heel and follow, she's just going to, like... I don't know horse term. She's going to, like, goad the horse, I guess, to, like, just shoot to the left or whatever.
Alright, cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. This thing is, like, boom, 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 like completely, like...
It's not a real horse. How do horses work? Don't know.
There's a meme out there that I need to replace Izzy's face with on a horse, and I will do it later.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's cool. This thing is, like, barreling towards Izzy. Its head kind of high, but as it gets closer and closer, you see it's kind of getting lower and lower, and, like, its teeth getting wider and wider. It's going for, like, the kill bite. Mm-hmm. And Izzy's kind of like, oh, come get me, come get me, come get me. And everyone at the checkpoint is like, what the fuck is going on? They're, like, scrambling to pull their swords out. Because, like, it's the middle of the night. They didn't expect anyone to do anything kind of thing. They're like, oh, Jesus, I'm meant to be here. And Izzy kind of, like, cocks the horse, to, like, kind of rears it to the side and rears it up, and this thing kind of, like, bites through the horse, but, like, Izzy dismisses the horse, so it, like, shatters into water, and as she, like, drops and this thing slides through it, she, like, resummons it and lands on it again, kind of like a thump, and this thing crashes into the gate, and they're like, the guards are like, what the fuck is that? And, like, ICM, like, one of the ICM units have fallen over, and they're like, oh, I followed and can't get up. That kind of thing.
Not really, because it's a verbal surveillance bot.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the guards is like, and, like, swipes at the dog, or the hound, sorry, and swipes through it, and the blade just glides through this thing's body as if it was not even present. And this thing just, like, spins and, like, rips upwards, and, like, you just see this guy's, like, it's like literally the Captain Hook and the crocodile thing, where it's like both legs are on each side of the mouth. Mm. He's like, and this thing just, like, closes, and you just hear a snap and a crack as his legs go in, and it just comes up and, like, consumes this young individual. You guys have an opening. To get through the door, you will have to essentially dismiss, run, and I'm assuming resummon your horses.
Yep.
it would require an athletics check to essentially sprint.
Oh, God.
Because you guys have to clear a gap during the confusion. So to successfully
I'm gonna give everyone bardic inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
rock and roll. That's cool. But yes, essentially athletics check to like sprint from like the ground, because you guys have to cover quite a distance.
Hey.
Oh shit.
Coda, Esme, as you guys sprint forward, you're like, and Izzy, the very water you use to dupe the hound causes you to like literally foot goes up into the air, like whoa! Kind of thing, like, and you like slap down onto your back a couple of feet, essentially directly under the portcullis of this gargantuan gate.
Esme's gonna run back and she's gonna like pull Isadora.
Yeah, can we like Indiana Jones the hat but with Isadora?
Well, hold on. Okay. What kind of strength does Coda have?
A solid 0.
Oh, you're so bad. Okay, Esme's gonna just like run. Esme's just gonna run up and like basically try to bum rush Isadora like out of the path of the door.
Oh, it's not like falling. It's more a case of like Izzy's just like slapped down on the ground and you guys are a couple of feet ahead of her. It's just as Izzy looks up, it's like this like massive portcullis is hanging on over her, that kind of thing. Like the two guards that were on the now your side of the fence are kind of like, hey, what are you doing? And the other's like, oh, what the fuck? Like kind of like they're like literally kind of like pointing like A to B. It's like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Get it! And I want to roll perception.
Izzy's shrieking from the bottom of the ground.
To her face, yeah.
Nice.
Izzy, like, you are convincing. They're like, oh, a fair maiden in peril. All my years on Reddit will pay off finally. And as they pass over Izzy like does that like springboard thing The Rock does. Let's go. And they're kind of like, I'll protect the and they just get ripped to pieces and they're just getting like torn apart.
As we're running away, I want to do something that's 100% important, but like also aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Esme's gonna take out the X rapier and she's just gonna like throw it like a spear almost at the shroud as she's like running away. Also to get it off her person.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Can I have just a ranged attack without proficiency, because it would be an improvised.
Yeah, cool. That will be
one of the ICM units is definitely getting chewed on, and they're just like, "This is not ideal. This is not ideal."
Oh,
Esme, your attempt hits its mark, but not in a valiant way. You do notice, though, it is worth noting that this rapier hits off the kind of handle first. It's kind of like starts off ground, but then like the lopsides in the air and hits it. But it does react to its body as if it was a magical item. Because you guys have definitely fought specters and ghostly things. You know that when like magic items hit them, they tend to react a bit more like they're hitting solid matter, whereas typical weapons they kind of get stuck. So like it's a case of like, oh, they have resistance to them, but like this thing is clearly just like bonking off it. So like it was probably magical in some way, but it hits it, and this thing is like biting and chewing down, and it looks at the others, and like it kind of like pounces forward, but hits the fence. Because it seems to be trying to get through the fence, but it has ICM in its mouth, and it seems to be kind of like, oh god, I've got this thing in my mouth, and like, and then you see it kind of like it starts to shimmer, and you see like the ICM unit that's being chewed on kind of like slides through it, as if like the body of this thing doesn't exist or like doesn't have physical matter, and it starts to like slowly like walk menacingly through the gate.
Okay, on the horses, let's go.
Yeah, you guys take off. Would it be fair to say you guys are such using dash, kind of like that, kind of like we're just going boom, boom,
Oh,
boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys get about like 30 feet down the road, and
so we're like actually out of the city.
You guys have successfully fled Uri. Well, I'm going to say fled Uri because you quite literally flee and have exited yours. But yes, hold on, let me just, I guess, put back up the roadmap. yes, you guys have fled Uria from the bottom here. As you guys like sprint forward, it's like you're 30 feet away, you're 60 feet. You guys are like clearing some serious ground with these horses. I'm assuming every so often you're periodically looking over your shoulder to like make sure the hound isn't there. After a while, the hound is not. You all look back when you're about maybe 150 feet from the city gate, and you see it kind of like run and stops. Not that it hits a barrier, but it's kind of like it skids, and it's like, oh, and it just kind of like turns around and walks away. Like not a care in the world. Like it just suddenly was like, nah, I don't want him. It just like 180s and just. You do hear the sound of galloping coming from the woods to your right.
Is it just Rizbit?
He took the long way around.
No, Rizbit's in the bag of holding that has like NPC mode scribbled on.
Thank Christ.
And oh yeah, no, it's 100%. Like it's just, well, in my head, I'm picturing a bag with like whoever's like away that week or any of the times. It's just their head, like a cartoon head is just hanging out of this bag. It's like NPC mode. But yeah, no, Rizbit's there too on his horse. It's fine. But yes, you guys hear like halt, criminals, as mounted Hands of Uria soldiers are galloping after you. As you guys are like, going down and clearing the distance, you kind of see like what looks like a camp or like a mini outpost, possibly to combat this very thing, to stop people who have like sprinted outside the city and are getting away, and the guards can't follow them. They kind of have like these outreachings to like essentially patrol cars, if you think about it, like near the highway to catch people who are like speeding. But in this case, you guys are fleeing in a peculiar manner on mighty water steeds. So you have two individuals following you.
Guys, so I 100% do not regret this course of action, primarily because we are now out of the city. However, I regret it because we are not going to Zenla. I would suggest that we turn around, go back through the city. No. What if we just...
I was like, please tell me you're fucking messing.
What if we just go up the other side of Uria? What if we go up the back side of Uria, guys? We just cross over those mountains at the top, and then we go to Zenla. It'll take us 16 years. But what if we just do it? And we turn away from the camp? I'm sure they're not monitoring the coast. Guys, do we want to see if we can outrun the Hand of Uria?
Yeah, fuck them.
I love how Izzy's just quarter time, motherfucker. We're doing this.
That's it. Esme just like yas her horse and like, let's go.
Yep.
So your guys' response to halt, criminal scum
is not to halt, criminal scum.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. One moment, please.
Oh boy. There's two of them, right?
Also, there's a camp up ahead of them.
Yeah.
We can run through a camp.
Oh god.
And no, they're coming from a camp.
Ah.
Like when you guys are say coming down the hill on your horses, and you hear the roars of "Hey, stop!" Like what you're doing. You look over your shoulder and like you see these two like break from the tree line, but you can see the campfire illuminating like an outpost or a camp of some kind. But you do notice others are scrambling to like put boots on, put their like gear on, kind of thing.
We like get out of the gate. We're like walking down the road, and we're like, "Whew, no more trouble for us!" And we just like barrel through the camp, knock over the campfire.
Two arrows fly overhead. Esme, 11 and 21. I'm assuming 11 misses. 21 might hit.
21 does hit.
That is 11 piercing damage as an arrow pierces into your back.
She just calls back, "No, thank you."
Not today.
You guys going to continue going?
Yeah.
She says into the ring, it's like, "Guys, they are shooting at me."
They sure are. Yeah.
Ignore that damage. Oh boy, 26 and 22 is Adora.
Yeah, those hit. Shit, what was my health before?
That's a total of 21 piercing damage.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that. I'm not overly fond of that.
Lads, I know it's pretty #deep for my character, but I'm not a fan of being shot.
Wild concept.
Darren, would I take disadvantage to shoot them from horseback?
I believe you do if you're not trained now.
Oh god.
So that's good. Which, to be fair, I can understand, but like, man, when does mounted combat ever come up, really?
True. Oof. Yeah, I'll try to take a shot.
Cool, yeah. When Coda, like you may, but I'm just like describing. Like, when Coda, like, you know, does the like, whoa, looks over his shoulder, slow motion. Oh my god, Coda is Revolver Ocelot at this moment. Yes. But yeah, sorry, I had a moment. When he like goes to shoot, you notice that it's just two individuals chasing you with long bows.
Is the shots are...
A 13 whizzes past one of their heads. The individual on the left, the horse rears up from this colossal bang from the gun. 18 does strike the rider on the right.
That's 11 damage.
Yeah, you hit him in like the chest, and like you hear like a yelp. Like, you know, the force of a gun is going to be outweigh the force of an arrow. Yeah. He is not like, he is like he drops his bow kind of thing, goes back in his bow, and he holds like arm reels back, and he grabs on real quick, and he's like, "Whoa, what the?" They got some weird stuff, and the other one's just like, "Come on!" And you see like the rider you just shot, like is making noises as if enraged, but like he probably doesn't have, you know, he's not like raging. But he draws, like, the horse rears up, and like he pulls out a sword in the same like kind of motion, and he brings the flat of it down on the back of the horse, and like this thing just bolts. He is like properly like hunkered down, like jockey riding position, sword out, hanging on the left, as this like black steed like is just barreling towards you guys.
Shoulder shot, horse.
Yeah.
Riding. Out.
You guys are forcibly removed from the Queen's row. Oh my god, I know what I want to happen next. So guys, this guy is charging towards you. How are people reacting to the single rider who is pursuing the individual?
Can I try to like ray across the road in front of him to like see if I can trip up the horse?
Ooh, sure. Again, be a range thing, but it's a disadvantage because it's a range attack.
Okay. I'm like later. I'm trying to come up with an argument.
I actually have an idea if we have another chance at this.
Esme will also take a shot, but probably at the horse, to just be like, "Goodbye, horse. You were awesome."
Darren, can I queue up my action as well?
Yeah, we're gonna say Isadora's thing, depending on how it goes, and then we'll Esme, and then Coda, because Neil literally just spoke 3 seconds before you guys. Oh, okay. Izzy's kind of like and like aims, but like it's a case of the bump just sends her a little bit higher, and like the beam just shoots right over this person's like arching back, because again they're down at that jockey style, and like they're like if you guys can ever, I'm assuming most people have seen Mulan, where, you know, when Shan Yu is charging Mulan, and it's possibly the most intimidating horse in existence, because you can see like the hot air coming out of its nose that's just plowing down the fucking snow. It's that. You're not sure who's more angry, the rider or the horse. But yes, sorry, Amy, that does indeed miss. Esme, you wanted to shoot?
Say that again.
You wish to shoot? Yes.
Yeah, she's gonna shoot at the horse.
Rock and roll.
And I have disadvantage yet.
Yeah. That hits.
Horses have bad AC, I guess.
They're large.
Esme just shouts out, "Pelor, kill this horse!"
Esme, you lob a radiant arrow in this thing's throat, and it's like yelps, it like neighs and yelps and screams in agony, and it's still going. Like, this horse looks like it's beaten to shit, but oh boy, is this thing determined to kill Esme now. It's gonna be the horse from Tangled.
Esme just screams, "Coda, shoot it in the face!"
I know that's what I should do, but out of character, I'm gonna try something I've never had a chance to do before that I really want to do. So I'm gonna put my wicker mask
This
down.
gets you killed. I'm
Yeah,
going to laugh at you
yeah.
for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna put my wicker mask on, and I'm gonna cast grease to try and trip him up.
Oh.
No,
So I'm
this,
gonna-
this is legit clever. Well done.
I'm gonna just shoot a bunch of oil out of my inventor's backpack. I don't know how this works. I don't know if it's magic or I'm just throwing oil at this horse, but I'm gonna do that thing.
My Discord went weird, so just please repeat what you said. You're going to shoot a load of
I'm-
what out of your what?
My wicker mask gives me the ability to cast grease. So I'm gonna cast grease and try and slip this horse up with a bunch of
well,
oil.
that's weird. The distortion sounded completely different. That's weird.
So a 10-foot square, slick grease covers the ground. Each creature standing in the area must succeed on a dex saving throw or fall prone.
Oh, let me check this creature's thingy.
Any creature that enters the 10 feet will fall. Will make a dex
Well, we're
saving
going to
throw.
be going off the horsey stats because it is the thing, so hold on.
I want to trip up this horse.
It's an 18.
God fucking.
It, like, you know, hits it and it kind of like Tokyo Drift styles through it and, like, cocks to the side. Oh my god, it does the Akira Drift.
You
through
know
the
what?
grease.
This horse deserves to win.
But no, do you know what?
This
You know,
horse.
we're gonna add an extra layer. It Akira greases, and as it Akira greases, you see like the rider is like leaning down to like add weight to the slide, and you see that like in one motion he pulled up his like dagger and just gives it to the horse's mouth, and then they like. And yeah,
I can't believe our
he's
greatest
essentially-
enemy so far is a horse.
It's now a horse.
Um,
Fuck the shroud head. This is terrifying.
This is much worse.
he just this rider just he really wants this promotion. He's like, gosh, they probably stole like a fucking apple, but oh boy, I'll get him. Esme, I'm going to say he is right behind you. Or I'm just going to assume a marching order because I'm fun like that. So Esme, this longsword is coming down at you.
Please do not. Darren, can my horse uncanny dodge?
No. Esme, 20 hit.
Yeah, both of those hit.
Jesus.
7 slashing damage as this sword comes down. I'm gonna say just for like the doing it on the fly, it's gonna go Esme. Actually, no. Everyone roll, please. Fuck it. Roll initiative. Oh shit!
Didn't think anyone
Come
could
on
beat
now.
my 25, but
Okay, so oh geez, right. So essentially, guys, I'm gonna say the march. It's kind of like a conga line. It's Coda, Izzy, Esme, Handy, you're your rider. Taking us first in combat is Coda.
even though Izzy got the crit,
Oh yeah, like it's more like
Yeah,
crit success is more for like
Okay.
ability rolls, but like it's a case of
Yeah.
like it doesn't negate the numbers.
okie dokie. I assume I've used up that there greasy boy. I will shoot this horse, I guess. It's disadvantage, yeah.
Yeah, disadvantage. I know I said it's kind of a conga line, but it's a case of like you can bob and weave to get in line of like I won't hit Esme kind of. Roll damage, please, Coda.
20 damage.
Yeah, like Coda's just like quick fire, like, boom, and both like like in its gut and in of its head, and this horse just like straight down. Like it's not even like graceful. It's not like slow. This thing just is like go 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 go, and it's perpendicular to the ground. It just cracks it. You hear a crack, a smash, some like kind of churning, and you see the rider is cast off, landing head first, neck first. There is a crack, and essentially it's an L shape. Head, neck,
Ugh.
straight up, legs, and its legs are like he kind of like skids and just like slumps over. Victory music of the initiative fight thingy plays.
That was a short initiative combat.
It was my Discord went weird. Was that a yes?
What?
What did you
What
ask?
did you ask?
Oh, apologies. Oh, sorry. I think my Discord's being weird. Do people keep galloping after the fight?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do not stay to see this aftermath.
I'm not gonna give the horse a Viking burial. I'm gonna keep riding. Like.
That's fair. So how essentially, guys, you guys are galloping loudly through the night. How do you guys want to do this? Like, what's the general plan laid out?
Like, is it fair to say we ride like as far as we are physically able before we have to stop?
It's a case of, do you want to like essentially negate sleep and ride till dawn, that sort of thing?
How many days would it take us to get to Orion? Do we know, like, roughly?
Survival or history, your just choice, friends.
It looks like it's just like a bit farther than it would take to get to the Queen's Road Inn.
Yeah.
That's 23.
Yeah, Coda, you reckon with your horses and sorry, did anyone else roll? No, it's Scott. You know, with your horses, you'd probably clear the gap in like maybe 3 days, give or take, wiggly hand.
I'll relay this to the others and see what they want to do.
Like
then.
it's a little bit. It is indeed, as Amy and probably Isidore pointed out. It's a tad closer, but also your horses are quite fast in general as well. So you kind of like typically tend to knock a day off most travel distances, kind of thing. Like if it's A to B, if it's normally say 7 days, chances are you guys will probably get there in 6, maybe 5 if you ride through the night on one of the days. Because your horses are good, but they're not like instant travel. But yeah, you reckon it's about 3 days travel from where you are at the moment. Well, sorry, no, actually, if you guys are riding today, it's probably 2 days left because you guys rode through the night to dawn. So it's 3 days on your current horses from the gate.
Yeah, what I would say is just to ride through the night just to get as much distance as we can.
Yeah, and we can sleep in the morning then.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock and roll, friends. 1 second. Okay, cool. Right, you guys ride through the night. It's quite peaceful. The morning sun is met with clouds, like grey clouds, kind of just not. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a nice day. Around 6 a.m., it starts to like rain quite heavily. You guys are about here. Off to your left from the direction you're going, and you can see like a cluster of mountains and hills and like. I know it's not kind of on the map, but it's kind of safe to assume that most of the area that isn't like essentially a city is foresty and or open kind of plains of grass. But this area seems to be very like wooded, like kind of dense. It's just around this area, these areas here, it's like really, really, really dense, kind of like almost like difficult terrainy, intense. But yeah, you guys are kind of in like the shadow of this like cluster of mountains, and it is lashing heavily. Do you want to continue down the road, or what's the plan?
Guys, we've been all go for a while now. Let's just find a little cave and hide out for a few hours.
Yeah, we should. I'm completely tapped out of magic rest.
Let's take a nature break. This is our Erasmus. It's time to go.
I mean, Coda's definitely on his gap year.
How dare you?
Tell me
Out
I'm
of character, how dare you?
I know. I mean, like, I hate it when you're called out like that. It's awful, right?
He took his gap year when he decided to like join demons. That was when his gap year was a thing, and he hasn't done anything since either. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he took his gap year and then just never went back. Yeah.
Yeah. He just keeps deferring. Anyway, let's not get a little too real.
So you guys are looking for a nice little, like, bit of shelter.
A nice cave, preferably with no bears in it.
Survival.
Nope. I don't know nature. I'm a city boy.
You're a city mouse.
If I don't roll over a 10 in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to kill someone.
Oh boy.
We're all city mice.
So Darren, what did I find?
I'm a robot, I don't nature.
You guys take far too long, even by like, general standards, to find a small cave thing. It's kind of like, it's not it's kind of out from the mountains. It's kind of like a hill, kind of seems to be hollowed out. Probably some beast did it at some point, or maybe a troll or something. Who knows? But it's a little inlet. It looks dry. It looks, like sleepable. There's clearly like a back to it. There's no like like cave, haunting tunnel calling, beckoning anyone forth. But yes, it's a case of you guys spend so much time looking for one, on top of the lashings around it. You guys like are pretty much tapped. Like, I know you guys have been tapped technically in terms of stats, but like there's a narrative, you guys are just like so drained. It's just like, because like it's been a wild ride. But you eventually, after about maybe 2 hours of searching the hillside for like some out of the way, secluded rest area, you eventually come upon. So you sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, as my phone's hopping.
So that was fun.
I can't believe like our plan went out the window in the first 5 minutes.
Oh god, yeah. Neil, what time do you have to go?
Soon-ish. I still need to get a shower and stuff, but I'll worry about that now in a few minutes. Mostly because I'm just eating now because of the way the day went.
Amy's angry typing.
No, I'm talking to someone else. I have other friends, you guys.
How dare you?
Fucking roasted.
I think that whole escape from Area sequence went really well.
Yeah, no, I really
I'm
liked
happy
it. It
with
was
that.
cool. And I'm glad people rolled well. That was fun. I was dreading when we got to the checkpoint, I was like, this is a great plan, but oh boy, those checkpoints are fun narratively, but oh boy, do they scare me when anything involves them. Oh boy. So yeah, guys, the Wild Hunt shows up.
Oh god.
Oh shit.
Oh, geez.
Can we tell them we're busy and we don't want to right now?
Oh god, cold callers. We don't want any!
We're not in!
So,
Stay out of my cave!
Okay. Moving on from that statement, Neil, Esme that does indeed trance when she sleeps. Would Esme be the type of person who would transfer, like would she transfer 4 hours and then like get up and walk around, or is she like, I can transfer 4 hours and then just kind of like snooze for the other 4 like a human? Like what would her MO kind of like? What would her daily, nightly, or actually in this case, how would she go about it?
So mostly for the sake of intelligent adventuring, she pulls the full 4 hour nap essentially at the start, and then once she's restored, she'll take on watch
duty,
heading the fire. Like basically, I don't imagine she has books or anything with her.
Yeah,
I imagine it's a lot of practicing her forms or working out giant, complicated, potential paranoid delusions.
Yeah.
Drawing dicks on the
But
party
what if that happened though? That kind of thing. Cool. Esme,
What if the shroud
wake-
was still coming?
Yeah, like for sure. Esme, when your trance finishes, I'm gonna say it's a case of like you gradually, like not gradually, but it's a case of like you open your eyes. It's not like they snap open or anything.
Yeah.
You open your eyes. You take in the air. It's still kind of cold. It's still kind of raining, not really storming, but like the clouds and wind are pretty loud, pretty howling. For a split second, you're kind of like, geez, how did they sleep through that? Because like this cave is only about maybe like the area that you guys are essentially the dry areas is like only like 15 feet from the outside. It's like kind of like a half tent, like a little enclave kind of thing. But Esme, when you sit up and look around, like open your eyes, because I literally always picture the elves trance, like the meditation stance that Geralt does.
Yeah, it's
You open,
pretty much.
Yeah, that's always what I pictured. And when you do that and wake up, you see, Isadora, Coda. It's like, oh gosh, they're so cute, like sleeping. Why is there so many footprints here? There's only 3. Oh boy, I'm missing 500 gold and some other items from my. Were we robbed?
Esme is not impressed. Admittedly, yeah, she could be worse off.
I honestly picture Esme being that Vine's like, I can't believe you've done this to like nobody in particular, just like looking at the footprints, like, how dare you?
Can I roll investigation on the footprints to just see where they lead?
Yeah, sure. Give me an investigation check, buddy.
Just for the purposes of making the check, she's not going to go far from, like, in fact, she's not going to leave where she is. She's
just kind of investigating the immediate area, kind of.
It's more just get a sense of the direction they've gone, because she doesn't want to leave the others or wake them before they need to be woken up.
That is fair, buddy. Give me that roll.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself. This is fucking ridiculous.
So, sorry, I'm a professional. I definitely didn't laugh out loud and hold my mic down. Esme, there's a lot of footprints. There's, Esme's kind of like shocked. Like, wait, what? You can't get a bead on where they've gone, but there is a lot of footprints around, say, the camp, like the campfire, because I know is the little shell that creates bonfire. So in my head, it's always been like, just kind of an unwritten thing where she just like, boop, blows it, and it's like, we have a fire now. Anyway,
I should use that more often. Anyway.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. So like, there's kind of like a makeshift little fire, like kind of smaller than your average fire, but there's a lot of footprints around your area. The guy's bedrolls are clearly like, there's been a lot of footprints around them. Like Coda's blankets kind of moved because someone was probably trying to see what was like in his shirt pocket, that kind of thing. But yes, there seems to be a lot of footprints, kind of discernible. You're not too sure, you can't get a bead on how many people there were or where they've gone, because they literally disappear into the howling wind and rain at the current time anyway. But yes, they seem to have probably not just robbed you, but probably robbed the others as well.
How big are the footprints?
They survival. They're big, but are you trying to just be like, how big are they, or more like, what race made these?
Yeah, like it's leading to the question of what race made these.
Cool. To discern such a thing, I'm gonna say either survive. Actually, no. This for me would totally be like a rangery survival thing. So I'm gonna say survive.
Yeah, cool. She's not making any more checks now for another little while, because that is actually fucking infuriating. But
everybody, I'm sorry.
She hits that point of like, there's something going on. I cannot seem to discern any information. Going to wait until the others are awake, and she's just going to make sure that there's nothing else missing.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Primarily the 3 gold bars.
What?
What 3 gold bars?
They're not for you. Don't worry.
No! What 3 gold bars? I don't want them. I just want to know where you got them.
Oh my god!
Oh, I stole them off Tinklefoot.
That's fine then.
Oh, okay.
You know when Kronk has a moment where he has like the angel and devil on his shoulder. I literally like, this isn't going to be the outcome, but I just had a moment where I was like, oh, just say the bag of holding is gone. Just say they took the bag of holding, and I was like, no, that's so cruel.
Oh my god, they stole Risbeth.
That's proper motivation. Like, that would, I don't think it's a
100%.
bad thing to do.
Oh yeah, I know, but I was like, things like the bag of holding, I was like, they definitely keep on their waist. I don't know, if I've always pictured it as like a teeny tiny generic coin purse thing, so I'm like, they just keep that on their belt at all times, kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, yeah, when Esme tries to discern the footprints, there's just so many, it's so muddy, the ground's kind of damp, around the bedroll areas that like it's just too hard to get a read on like what's made. There's a lot of them. Probably a lot of hectic going back and forthing. What's missing is just more essentially just like kind of like pocket gold, like a lot, because you guys did have a lot of gold on each of your members. It's a case of you can all say you're missing 500 gold each.
So
sort
it's
of thing.
just money. Like we all have our stuff.
Well, I'm gonna say Esme spots that like Coda's like one of Coda's coin purses is no longer like where it normally is, like on his jacket kind of thing. Like he kind of has it like on his right, and like you can clearly see it's been like someone's kind of like pulled it out with probably a sharp dagger, just like snipped the rope and just into my pocket.
Well,
that's
we're not even awake, so we don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like asking for specifics of what you're missing,
yes, okay.
You wouldn't know. But Esme's kind of like, okay, that coin purse is gone. It's like, ooh, yeah, I think Izzy used to keep it in that pocket. That's like that pocket in her coat isn't bulging, so chances are that coin purse is gone. That sort of thing. But yeah, you guys like essentially like, even though you aren't awake, it's like you're missing 500. But yeah, you guys. Does Esme just essentially wait for the others to naturally wake up?
Pretty much, yeah. She'll just kind of sit there internally screaming. And then when she hears someone like even start to wake up, she'll just be like, cool, that means they've slept enough, and she'll just stand up and wake up the other one. It's like, hey, so we were robbed.
What?
Yeah, we were robbed. I'm missing 500 gold. There's footprints everywhere. I can't find anything out. Find anything out about it. I actually really want to just put myself in a bin. But yeah, we were robbed.
Isidore starts patting herself down to make sure to like learn what is missing.
Isidore, you pat yourself down. You come to the conclusion that, geez, 500 gold is missing. You're like, oh, jeez, it's just gold, and you cut like eye to one of your bags, and you're like, there should be a loot sticking out of that.
She screams.
I'm gonna search my stuff as well.
Coda, that lovely present that Esme gave you is missing.
Darren, can we say for certain that that is all that is missing?
Yes, it's a case of with Esme, you guys take 10, go through everything monotonously. Yes, you guys are all down 500 gold. Izzy, you're missing a loot. Coda, you're missing the paper loot. Yes. Yeah. Coda, you're missing your applying blood crossbow thingy. You guys kind of there does not seem to be a lot of footprints near Esme. You would not come to conclusion, but like a theory you might creep into your head is that like they seem to target you guys because Esme is an elf who needs to sleep, so they just didn't run the risk of like picking her pockets too much, that sort of thing, and chancing their arm, that sort of thing. And because, okay, yes, they were ballsy with the coin purses, but like again, they just slowly, gingerly like pulled the loot out of the bag. And, the crossbow would have been jutting out of a bag as well, because crossbows are pretty big. Even the light crossbows are pretty chunky. Yeah. Like they just would have been like, oh, just get that flap up there, and I've got the crossbow. Like let's leg it, like that sort of thing.
When did you did you see anything?
That was what you just said was pointless, Kelly. No, I didn't, because I too was asleep, and then I woke up and I had a piece of toast. Now I realized that
don't you dare.
I realized that it was missing about, and she like checks her imaginary watch, about 4 hours ago, but you guys were still asleep, and I was having a distinct difficulty with locating any information that might be of use. So I think it's on y'all to find it.
Great, thanks. And she starts going to follow the footsteps.
You are such a crybaby. Anyway,
thanks one to no one. Miss do nothing.
I'll fucking karate chop you off a cliff.
Children, please.
No, she puts on her sad dour look face. She says, yeah, I don't know what happened. I just couldn't see them. And she kind of just sits down. And she says, if you guys find my stuff, can I have it back? Mostly because I have to go now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's just like, I'm sorry. Oh god. And then she faints. She lies down by the fire, having like wound. She's a moment, and now she's unconscious.
Isidore watches her swoon, turns on her heel, and starts following the footprint.
There we go.
Same.
Okay, guys. Good luck. Try not to die.
Good luck.
You
Have
two,
fun.
stay safe.
Yeah, cool. Izzy, you want to follow the tracks. The
I do.
rain is letting up a smidge, but it's not ideal. A survival roll is needed to... Actually,
Can I try and assist?
you can... It's an investigation to like identify tracks, and it will be survival to try and follow.
I want to follow them more than identify them.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll assist with that then.
Give me them survival rolls.
I won't assist, sorry.
Cool. Oh dear.
You guys find some muddy tracks. Again, the rain's kind of aiding them, and the wind is kind of like, it's that kind of like loud. You can't kind of hear yourself thinking. You're like, oh, this is just infuriating. But you guys continue like kind of a... What do you call sessions after? It is. Hey, you're on the case. Hey, you gotta find those stolen drugs.
We weren't carrying drugs. Who told you that?
You are carrying drugs. You be quiet. Oh my
Did
god.
they steal Izzy's drugs?
Isadora is like the Russ Cole of the situation. He's like, yeah, I'll do drugs. I'm gonna fuck.
Did they steal
Anyway.
Izzy's drugs though?
No. They were captivated by the clearly ominous, odd-looking loot and crazy-ass-looking crossbow and the gold. Right, so yeah, you guys find these tracks and you're following them, and you kind of get turned around a few times, but you kind of go a bit forward, and you're kind of in a clearing, and there is 3 sets of footprints before you guys. You're not entirely sure which ones match the trails you've been following, but evidently some people have came through here. Some look a smidge fresher than others. You're not entirely sure. You'll have to investigate and survival-engate.
Well, let's investigate first then, just to see if that can't get us any more information.
Good lord.
Blah. I know that feels. Oh boy.
Between the two of you, you guys eventually, like, you guys are looking through, it's like, oh, which ones are which? Because they're kind of like, it's literally sprawling off in 3 directions. And it's kind of wide arcs, so you're like, oh, if we follow them for 20 minutes and it's completely wrong, we have to back, oh gosh. You guys narrow it down to the straight ahead ones and the far right ones with that roll. It's a case of like, some time has passed and you're like, again, like, you know, time is ticking on the clock, kind of that sort of thing.
Which ones are fresher, I guess?
A nature or a survival check will tell you.
Finally!
Whoa! Out of
Nice.
left field. With Coda sits down and like his voice goes deep and he turns into Geralt and he's like, footprints. 3 people. One's got a bad leg. He even does like the growly voice and everything. But the ones veering off to the right, kind of going a smidge this direction. Oh, but that doesn't help at all, actually. That's just a giant thing. So essentially, the choices were this, or a little bit over here. And the latter is the direction you guys are... Well, essentially, the footprints from the camp to here, to now going in this direction, all these prints match up.
Like,
And
isn't the prints heading in both directions are the same?
No, sorry. Between the left and right choice, the right, the tracks on the right side are the same footprints that are that went to your camp. So you know the people who are at your camp
Okay.
have gone to the right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll point this out.
Follow those and keep quiet about it and, I don't know, kick their asses to get her shut back.
It's a shame Esme passed out because she would have been better at this than me, but oh well, let's do it.
I don't know, yeah, but the thing is she bitched about it the whole way, so you know. Apples and oranges. Or whatever that phrase is.
I think it is. I think it's apples and oranges. But it's like, Esme has one of those t-shirts where like, I'll go, but I'll bitch the entire way. And you're like, that's cute, but when it's actually in practice, it's fucking insufferable. So guys, you said, Izzy, I did but hear you were saying you might go about this quietly.
Mhm.
Would you guys like to sneak?
I'm going to try sneaky sneak.
I'll try.
You come upon a dragon. An ancient dragon.
That bastard. That's my paper loot.
Oh my god, he's a hoarder. He's a hoarder of things. Right, so wow, great rolls, guys. Yeah, you guys follow the. You're going a smidge slower, mainly because no one's a ranger. So you guys move her like at half speed in quotation, so it takes you a little bit longer. But you guys are like, it's better to be safe than sorry. But you guys eventually, like maybe like 45 minutes, an hour, creep, and you kind of see like this little opening. You kind of hear like talking a little bit. You kind of see like the flickers of because it's getting bright, but you can see like through the green of like the bushes and trees and stuff, the flickers of like a campfire in the distance. At least one that's dying out due to the exposed rain, but it looks like it potentially was very large before the storm hit. But you see as you creep closer, like cloth or like sheets of cloth have been tied up, probably to like make makeshift roofs, or probably to keep equipment dry, or like the tent's just extra protection from the rain. But you can kind of hear like nondescript like murmuring and laughing and joking kind of thing, but like it's coming from the clear direction, and all the tracks point forward, that sort of thing.
Can we see anyone?
You can see what looks like through the underbrush and stuff. You can see the bobbing of what looks like an elven head. You can just kind of like, what makes you cop that it's elven essentially is when you see this person moving and talking, they kind of rotate their head and you can kind of see the point, the really long pointier ears. So like you can discern like this individual is certainly like some form of elf, but they're like full blood. It's not like half elf or anything. But they seem to be talking someone that's like lower than them to the right. And every so often you can kind of hear this like deep voice, and you can kind of see their head kind of turn slightly to the left, kind of like, oh yeah, like they're clearly like just looking at them to be like, I am indeed listening to what you're saying, that sort of thing. But yes, from what you can tell, there is a person in front of you. Well, I'm going to say like 30 feet ahead of you guys. You guys have successfully snuck up to here. To approach this close to the camp quietly, it will require a second roll, or if you guys just want to walk in, you can walk in. But yeah, you guys can hear 3 voices essentially.
I'm going to say into the ring for Coda to stay where he is, and I'll try sneak ahead to see if I can get a better look at what we're dealing with.
Yeah, okay. He's not happy about it, but he'll take out the gun and nod and be like, "Yeah, don't die."
So from what we can tell from where we are, there's like 3 people.
Yeah, seems to be 3 people.
Okay. Okay, 16.
16. Neat. Okay. Is he creeps and slithers like a snake up to the tree, like to the bush / tree line. And before you is a kind of a wide-sprung camp, with dotted around it are 3 individuals. A tall, slender elf man, a hunched over, like they're certainly half orc, but they certainly like seem to have a tad more orc blood in them than normal. They're very traditionally like orcish looking, but they kind of have like just human enough features that like hints or that they're like most likely half orc. Kind of a brooding dude, kind of the deep voice that was off to the side, and a small halfling is off to the far right.
And like they're just sitting around chatting.
Yeah, they there seems to be like a kind of like almost like a loot pile in the middle, kind of like kind of covered with this kind of makeshift like roof system. But like Izzy, when she's glancing around, would know it instantly. She can see like the paper loot kind of jutting out from it, and like they're kind of all like joking. They also be speaking Elven. Does Isadora speak Elven?
I do.
Cool. Yeah, it's more just a case of like that was easy. It's like, oh man, I can't believe that Eladrin didn't wake up. We were so like, I thought I heard her move at one point, but oh man, and Big Dude's like, yeah, I couldn't believe I was ready to shoot her, but hey, it went off without a hitch. That sort of thing. Like, so they seem to be very jolly and happy with their loot.
Into the ring, I'm kind of like, do you see anything?
I'll relay to Coda what I see. I say there's 3 of them. I can clearly see our stuff in the middle. They're bragging about it.
What do you want to do? Do you want to go in weapons drawn, or do you want to try and talk to them?
I mean, they're probably just bandits. I have an idea.
No boy.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give them a chance to, give back their stuff and just leave it be. And if they don't, I say we beat them senseless. Does that sound good?
That seems fair. I could try.
Maybe like not murder.
Yeah.
But-
All right. Yes. I mean, if you want to try a different option, I could try and make a noise, try and distract them, and you could grab our things. But what's your plan?
I'm going to. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to give them a chance to repent of their sins, I suppose.
Well, if you need to go the intimidation route, I could try and, shake the earth, make the campfire blaze, that sort of,
Yeah, no, I might actually count on you to do that. Just, follow my lead.
Yes.
And she's going to put on the wicker butterfly mask. Darren, we've
Yes.
seen a banshee before, haven't we? Or hag. We've seen a hag before.
Yep.
Cool. Isadora's going to disguise herself as a hag.
Nice.
And as soon as she's disguised, she's going to, step into the firelight and say, "What are you doing in my forest?"
Is he kind of going theatrical, or is she trying to be intimidating?
Absolutely theatrical.
Performance, please.
$22?
Okay. I'm sorry, I was choking on you, Chris. The halfling is yeah, it's good. We should do this more. What the fuck is that?
Trespassers! Heathens! Leave this place immediately!
The elf takes a step back and he's whoa, and handing the sword, and you see the rather large, bulky half-orc fellow. He's whoa, and you see he starts to kind of rotate his hand very slowly, and you see fire starts to kind of hover around it. And he's you kind of notice that he's kind of a little less lightly armored than the others. And the half-orc, yeah, but he used to be kind of channeling something's ready to fire, but he's kind of got his hands kind of glowing and we'll shoot fire. And the halfling is straight up leapt, and you see his dagger falls. He's "What?" And he's what?
Leave this place! Leave this sacred place that you have fouled with your thievery! And we shall speak of this no more, but darest you stay, you shall be slaughtered by the very earth that surrounds you!
Yeah, I'll take this cue to use thaumaturgy to cause the whole ground to shake. I'm gonna make the campfire turn black, and I'm gonna make the sound of ravens crying in the trees as I make it all dramatic.
Nice. Amy, can I have a decision roll with advantage?
Sure. $22.
Nice. Yeah, they're whoa, we don't want no trouble. We'll just take our things and go. We'll just give us
You
2
will
minutes.
leave everything you have taken from this place!
It's we just... And you see the halfling kind of we can just go real quick. And he's clearly putting his hand on the main kind of burlap sack of goodies that contains the loot at least kind of thing.
She goes, "Heathen!" and fakes taking a swipe at him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. Can I have an intimidation check?
Yes. $23.
Nice. Yeah, the halfling's basically drops the grip he has, and he's "Fuck this, man! I'm dying over this shit. No way. Live to steal another day, bro." And darts, and the half orc is he's pretty much at the tree line. He's "Yeah, no, fuck this." And he's "You're on your own, Trevor." And he legs it. And half elf, the full elf, you probably assume to be Trevor, is like falling backwards towards like the loot, and it's like, oh, like just let me take some of the things. We'll go. You'll never come back.
Can I make the...
You, boy Trevor! If you do not leave immediately, your bloodline will be cursed through the ages!
I'd like to make the fire, like, flicker brighter, and, like, it's still black, but it's kind of, like, flicking at him, like, in his direction.
And another intimidation check, please, Amy.
Sure. Oh no!
He's like, I don't believe you can do that.
Ooh, Darren!
Yes?
Into the ring. I'm just gonna tell Isadora to start moving her mouth, and then I'm gonna use thaumaturgy. I'm gonna make my voice boom 3 times louder, and I'm gonna start speaking in Infernal. So it sounds like she's cursing him in this weird, distorted, like, deep voice.
Okay.
Yes! Wow. So she starts doing that.
An intimidation check, Izzy, with advantage.
Cool. $17.
Yeah, it's all like this gutter, like barreling out of this guy. And he's like, oh, fuck this. And you see, like, his pants starts to get a bit wet, and he's like, fuck. And, like, he kind of, like, leaps, like, leapfrogs over the fire and just takes off into the tree line.
Isadora waits until like she's certain that like their footsteps are gone, and then she'll like drop the disguise and start giggling.
Yeah, I'll come out of the trees.
Ah, that works so well! She high fives him.
I think we have a promising future in theater if this doesn't work out.
Okay, let's see what they got. Then we like go through the pile.
Cool. All right. So for the most, the top layer is your guys' stuff. Like, so you get your crossbow back, your loot back, your gold.
Mm-hmm.
There's extra gold. There's about like maybe 800 in total between like the silver, the coppers, and the pieces, the jewels. They kind of like convert, say, into like gold. So that's 800 extra.
That's our acting fee.
Yeah, exactly. That's your commission. There's your standard, like, you know, armor, or not armor, sorry, your weapons. Like, there's a few swords, some vary in quality, and then one catches your eye. It's... Oh, one second. Oh, sorry, I thought someone was calling me. One is really, really nice quality. And, like, say, like, Izzy's kind of like, oh, what, this looks nice. And when you pull it up, the crossguard, you see the insignia of the Hand of Uria. It's a really nice longsword. Like, Izzy's kind of like, huh, and then Coda kind of looks down and is like, this is a really nice bow and arrow and quiver. It's like, just, it's not that they're magical or perhaps like, say, +1, it's just a good quality. And you notice that, again, it's also Hand of Uria quality stuff. A longsword and a longbow and a quiver with like 20 arrows or so, give or take. And you see at the bottom of the bag is, again, like kind of like mundane, like daggers and like just kind of stuff you can just like surplus sell to just get stuff, a few gems, not wearing much, a few necklaces, probably from like highway holdups, that sort of thing. But you see a Hand of Uria sigil, a horseshoe, and a small box that looks like one would keep like a necklace in, perhaps, like kind of a jewelry, a really small jewelry box.
I'm gonna pick up the jewelry box. Is it locked?
There is no like lock latch on it. It is just like completely ivory white, completely smooth, not a dent on it.
And I mean, actually here Can I detect any magic on the jewelry box?
Yes, you can indeed. 1 second, let me just confirm this. They're good luck.
Yeah. I've acquired the lucky feet. Fucking tremble before me.
Oh, my sweet summer child. Get a divination vibe off this bad boy.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna open it.
Oh, sorry, one sec. As well as abjuration.
Ooh.
Yes, there are the two schools of magic that glow forth. Hues of pink and purple illuminate as Izzy looks upon it. When Izzy holds the lid and tries to gently push it open, it does not move.
Does it feel like it's stuck or like something's holding it shut? Like, can I tell if like that this abjuration magic is holding it shut?
Yeah, when Izzy's like abjuration magic, cool, okay, that has many meanings. But when Izzy goes to open it, it's like I probably would imagine it's that.
Okay. So I will hold on to it for now and try to open it maybe when we're not like in the middle of someone else's campsite.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, that's me.
I'll also take a couple of the just like cheaper swords and stuff. I'm hoping I can maybe melt them down for parts later. So I'll just throw those into Henry.
Cool, yeah.
Always good to have a surplus of metal.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, I know like the hand of your stuff is of like a high quality, but this isn't something we can really sell. So if we can use it in another way, that'd be good.
Yeah, like I'll just take
For
all
sure.
Also, I'm just thinking out of character, like with this insignia and the sword and the bow. Like if we ever want to pass as Hand of Uria members or something, try and get out of something, it might be nice to have those and be like, oh, these official Hand of Uria weapons and signal and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So
Don't we have
I'm
something
gonna
similar
hold
to that?
on to them for now. We have the hand like badges that were like, oh, you're recognized by the Queen. But if we ever wanted to, like deception as like, oh, I'm an official Hand of Uria guard or something,
Oh, fair
this
enough.
might help.
That was actually like my first plan. I was like, oh, the outpost is near, so maybe they'll fall for that. But I was like, no, fuck it. Let's be
Do a
theatrical.
hag.
Let's be dramatic.
So good. So, guys, you have those items. You stand in a now, I imagine, well-searched camp. What do you do?
Like camp out the fire, I guess, so it doesn't actually burn the place down, and then head back to Esme.
Who I assume is still unconscious, just for the sake of it.
Oh, yeah. When you guys get back, it's a case of you bring Esme up to speed, return the gold. Esme climbs into the NPC bag.
It's getting crowded in there.
Oh, no, it's an NPC belt, and it's like every time someone goes NPC, they turn into like a little plushie doll that hangs off the side of it. But it's like, it's makeshift, so like the eyes are like, patches and stuff sewn on, like really hastily.
Buttons.
Yeah. It's a case of you return, Esme has more her gold back again. Do you guys split the money with Esme or Rizbit, or is it a case of it's 400 each? Or 800 for one person?
I don't know, we'll split it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
200 each then?
Yeah, 200 each.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, you guys find yourself in the small little area you guys called resting home. Before, what do you do? Where go, what do, as they say.
If we're like packing up camp or anything, I want to sit down and identify the jewelry box to see if I can even tell like what the abjuration divination magic on it is.
All right, Izzy.
Yeah.
This box is locked with an arcane lock. That's the first. That's like the first layer, and Izzy's kind of like cool. Pushes that little floating text bubble out to the side and dives deep. This is a jewelry box of detect thoughts, but it's slightly different. If you use this jewelry box to detect thoughts, you yourself, like they will make the save like a traditional detect thoughts thing. You will know the thoughts. It's kind of like it's a conduit that the thoughts would go through you, and you're like, oh, okay. But they're stored. You can store up to 3 thoughts in this little box that you can distribute into people as you feel the need to. This is the box itself. It's a case of you wouldn't know that actually. You just know that
we haven't opened.
The box hasn't opened. It's more like it would house, say, a necklace. It's that kind of like small tiny jewelry.
Oh right,
box.
there's nothing. We don't know what's any inside it though.
Izzy is identifying the spells that are like sending off to detect magic things. But yes, it's a form of detect thoughts that if they fail to save, the thought would go into the box. Like you would know it, and you can capture it, and through whatever way you would probably have to attune to figure it out, that sort of thing. You can dispense this thought into someone to essentially It kind of would work along the lines of like charm or command or that sort of thing, or maybe like to a degree a very altered, modified memory sort of thing.
So you could basically show someone else's memory or thought.
It's a case of you would implant it so they think it's their thought.
Oh.
So like, yeah.
Okay.
So like you could like it, but like again, to get the full whack, Izzy kind of is like, oh, I probably have to spend some time with it and quote unquote attune to it.
Can I dispel magic effects, like one magical effect? So I want to dispel the arcane lock.
Cool. Yeah. There's like a fizzle, pop, and a crackle. Tiny little shocks zip out, but don't hurt Izzy. It's more just like whoa, like a mini little light show, and you feel this magic dissipate.
And then if I open it, is there anything inside?
When you open it, there is a very nice blue velvet inside. There is the impression of, say, if like 3 pearls sat upon it. Like indentations for, say, 3 pearls or three spheres, but there is nothing in there.
Cool.
That's so cool. So like every time you capture one, it appears as a pearl.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then you use these pearls to put the thought into someone else's head?
Uh-huh.
Cool. I really like that.
Well, once she's done, I guess I'll suggest, like, should we continue on to Orion? Or did you want to go a different way?
No, we should carry on and I mean, I don't want to risk those guys coming back, so we should keep...
They get back and they're like, hold on, there's no hags in this piece. I just love the idea. I can just picture the bickering. It's like, I was going to say something. It's like, no, you weren't. You didn't say nothing. You're right. It's like I told you there was hags in this forest. It's like, there's no hags in this forest. Like, that kind of thing.
Darren, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you were before you started describing them properly, you said there was like an elf, a little guy, and I was,
I mean, that reference is for later.
Oh god.
So, you guys saddle up essentially and track on.
Yeah. I still haven't named my water horse, like out of character.
Stephen.
No.
His name is now Stephen.
No, it's not.
He looks at Coda and he's like, Stephen.
Isadora isn't going to name hers because she doesn't really get animals.
I mean, that's fair.
Coda's scared of all animals.
Yeah, sounds very.
Right, guys, you plow on. Somebody give me a D100.
Oh god. Do you want to do it, Relay?
I'll do it.
Okay, good luck! Not 7 dinosaurs! Not 7- Oh, it's That's the sex number.
I really hope this entry isn't shit.
It's gonna be like a bunch of sirens or something sexual, like it's got to be something like... It has to be something.
Let me be real for a moment, guys. Anytime one of the entries is a single entity, it's never a good time.
Oh god.
No.
Are we gonna do the Oh Brother Where Art Thou scene with the sirens and the singing and...
Oh wow, this thing is...
Oh no.
So it's not something sexy then, no? I'm gonna assume no.
Maybe sexy in a bad way.
How sexy is it?
You guys ride on.
Heh, yeah.
Again. After a day, it's grand. Halfway through the second day. Deck saves, please.
Oh boy.
Always a good start to a combat versus make a dex save.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Getting that one out early. Isadora. As you guys like travel, a boulder comes rolling out of the side.
What?
Coda like whoa. A boulder, a large rock that one might consider a boulder. It's not like Indiana Jones boulder, but it's pretty.
Not again.
Yeah. Coda reels back down. She's never so Izzy. Your horse takes it and like kind of dispels.
No, horse.
You get knocked and fall on your butt and take a little. You take two bludgeoning damage. From the tree line roars and comes a big tunk 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 tunk, as what looks like rocks. Like it's like a chunk of a mountain, like that kind of rock face. In a very chunky humanoid size, not that big. It's kind of like no bigger than your standard, kind of like really wide, like doesn't kind of have a lot of motion. It's kind of like when it walks, it has to like completely rotate like shoulders. But yeah, this thing is coming towards you enraged, and it's like smash. Can I have initiative?
Oh, you guys went out to watch something. It's never good.
It's not sexy.
I don't know. Are you turned on by rock elementals?
I don't think so.
Well, then it's not sexy.
Oh, it's some good initiatives.
Hmm.
One sec, guys. My roll 20 has been a butt. Does this have multi-attack?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Darren.
No, it doesn't. Decided.
Also, it's not a golem or whatever. It's actually a rat. Just a rat. Esme and Risbit are over there just making out in that little heart.
Oh, never mind. We're not going to go in that rabbit hole. Right, because I was like, there's just so many things. No, never mind. Right, so starting us off.
Where is this thing on the board?
It's number 3. Sorry.
Oh, that's too close.
Oh, it's real small.
Oh yeah, no, it's a medium creature. It's not that big.
Is it?
It's more
Oh.
wide. Yeah, it's more wide.
I was picturing like a 10-foot dude. Okay.
To be fair, the art got me excited when I first saw it, and then I read its stats, and I was like, I mean, you do you, buddy. I'm proud of you. It looks you over, and it's like, and it kind of like it starts kind of chanting under its breath, and it's kind of this gravelly. You see like this tiny slit of a mouth kind of moving, and it's like it just literally sounds like rocks grinding on one another, and you guys feel the air kind of like pulsate a little, and you see out of the corner of your eye the boulder that they threw, has this like light blue aura around it, like really thin layer, and it's just like out of the ground and starts like floating ominously behind you guys.
Oh no!
And he kind of looks at Coda, as if like, Coda, you're up, buddy.
Coda laughs back nervously. I'm gonna... I guess I'm gonna shoot this thing and just try and ignore this big old rock. We've rested, so I can use my grit points again. So I'm gonna take 2 shots sharpshooter with advantage.
Yeah, roll away, buddy.
39 damage. And I don't have my shield anymore because apparently you can't hold a firearm with a shield. Oh god. Yeah, so my AC is not good anymore. There's not much I can do to protect myself from this boulder. So I'll just try and face tank it. I'll just face down death. It's fine.
Alright.
Play possum, lay down.
Isadora, you're up.
Can it make a con save?
Oh, it can.
Sure.
It's made of rocks. Probably has good con.
It has disadvantage.
It has disadvantage.
Oh, it's shatter. Smart.
Oh boy, I completely cocked that up. The lowest one is a 18.
Which... What's that? Shit, it does. So the... does it take... It takes half damage anyway.
Yeah, it's shatter on it, is it guessing?
Yeah, it's shatter.
Yeah,
so
I believe it's half,
damage.
Also, I'd like to point out these things have just instantly became one of my new favorite enemies. They're just
Cool.
great. Cool.
So 7 damage?
Yeah, 7. What's it? 4 damage? Bludgeoning? What is
Thunder.
it? Oh, nice. Rock and roll. Hold on.
And then I'm gonna shuffle.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so it's this individual's go. Coda, you feel a pretty large bloody rock fly at you from the side and smash into you. I'm assuming 19 hits.
If I had my shield, it wouldn't. It's fine. It hits.
Can I have a strength saving throw, please?
I mean, I am proficient in those because I am a fighter.
You are knocked prone.
Excellent.
Isadora, this
Yeah.
thing looks at you and with the most anime grin leaps in on the spot into the air and turns and rolls, and it kind of almost rolls into a ball mid-air, and it kind of hits the ground and smashes into Izzy.
Are you going to roll for it, or do I make a save, or what?
Oh no, it's rolling. Oh, 12.
Okay, no, she
managed to sidestep
cartwheels
it.
out of the way.
Yeah, Izzy cartwheels out of the way. Cartwheels out of the way as this thing rolls, and as it misses, it kind of rolls and stands, kind of thing. Kind of stopping itself.
Yeah.
And kind of it looks like it's almost enjoying. It's kind of got a little rocky grin. And with that, we're to Coda.
I stand up.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Yeah, funny. Can I just ask when I shot that thing last round, did it look like it was? I don't know if there's a roll I can make to think. Was it doing the intended damage, or was it say resistant to that damage?
Nature check, buddy.
17.
Yeah, Coda would notice amongst the flashes pow. They literally it was literally pop pop. They stop and fall in. They kind of hit the rock surface and just fall straight down.
Okay, I'm gonna
there's a tiny dent in the armor kind of thing.
Okay, I'm gonna bonus action switch my gun to the force mod, and I'm gonna take 2 shots. So I can't do sharpshooter, so I'll just do 2 regular shots. Did both of those hit?
Oh boy. Yeah, hold on. Right, after this fight, I'm going to restart Firefox. It's being restarted.
Oh, okay.
Yes, both hit.
Ooh, okay, so 22 damage, that's force damage.
Nice. You see bits of the beam starts to crumble and break, and bits of it fall off. Some of it, its shoulder areas was kind of smoothened out from all the rolling, perhaps, but now it is kind of jagged and spiky. I
wish fighters had an innate ability to taunt or get a bad guy to come at them instead of the other people, but it's only battle masters, right?
Yeah.
Such a shame.
Technically, I suppose you could. No.
I mean, it would certainly be a charisma check.
I've already made my bonus action, so it probably.
Well, no, I can't. I would 100% unless it was a class feature. It would be like anything, but
Oh, like a full
doing
action?
an action to taunt.
Yeah.
No,
right,
it'll be 100%.
Oh, whole full action. Okay, alright.
Yeah. Alright, Isadora, you're up, bud.
Does 26 hit?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Isadora claps her hands together.
Woo!
Now, because this thing is made of stone, does that triple damage apply?
Ooh.
Oh, this is interesting. Because the wording is construct or structure, but this individual is neither.
Not a construct?
Not a construct. Technically, no, Amy. I'm sorry. It's not looking too great anyway, but it's technically not a construct.
I mean, it's 2d8 anyway, so.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a slap.
14.
Nice, excellent. Yeah, hold on.
Does it get pushed away or anything with that, or how does it work?
I don't think it was mentioned. No.
No.
No, there's no push.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Izzy, despite it
it's
not
force damage.
Yeah, like it's a case of despite it not being triple damage, you clap your hands together, and this thing cracks and bits of it fly backwards, and like it kind of like blows away, and all that's left is like this like kind of crooked, broken, almost like it's not smoldering, but it feels like there should be a bit of smoke coming off it, like legs, and they just kneel and just fall over into the grass.
Holy crap! Are you okay?
You didn't see me fall over. No.
Okay, of course I saw you fall. Come on, man.
I'm fine. Good job destroying that thing with your hands.
Yeah, you too.
But yeah, these I'm gonna. Oh boy, am I bookmarking these bad boys?
Can we know what they were like? I don't even out of character really know what this thing is. Like, I was ready to like roll nature or something to figure out what this is.
I'm gonna say from your nature roll earlier, you would know that they are kind of like not natural in the sense that they are quite magical.
I want to roll.
So if you wanted to, yeah, I was gonna say if you want to identify what it is, like its resistance to your attack is certainly like that's definitely not a natural like, exoskeleton kind of thing, or that's not a natural armor, despite it being natural armor.
Can I try Arcana?
So you would, yeah, of course.
22.
You would know this thing to be an elemental. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I'll put it in chat.
Ooh.
But they are cute little rock people who can animate boulders and throw them at you and essentially roll themselves up into a ball and sonic attack people.
Cute.
They're very cool. I think they're cool little dudes. But yeah, you guys successfully, like, when this thing collapses and falls over you, you hear the boulder that was hovering behind you guys just boom into the ground, and there's kind of like a little tremor.
It just lands on Esme.
On
It's like, thank God we're done. Oh no.
So guys, what are you doing?
I assume
we carry on?
Yeah, I assume there's something we can like loot off this thing. He's just made of rocks.
Just a whole bunch of rocks.
Cool. Okay, then we'll move on.
Fools! The Sunblade was there. Yeah, that's cool. You guys saddle up and ride on. It's a miserable night. It's very cold, but like your camp you set up, you guys sleep quite close to the bonfire and prepared, and it's fine. It's not the most ideal night, but it's grand. You guys take turns. It's a pretty calm night. The wind is pretty loud. The night passes, day arises, and eventually you come upon it at the top of a hill. And before you is a wide-spreading city beside the ocean. The sea smell hits you in the face. You can see dotted around this building are stone walls. Not like 50 foot, probably not 50 foot, whatever the Uri ones are, but not like towering in an oppressive manner that the ones of Uri are. It's more just like your regular city walls. This is protective against, what's out there in the wild. You can see little struts on top of the house, or on the, like every so often there's like a watchtower interval, and you can just see like your regular bowmen patrolling to and fro. There is a obvious like city gate. Like it kind of looks like from the distance, it kind of looks like maybe like a large portcullis and two big chamber door kind of looking things, swinging doors. But from the distance, you can quite clearly see it's open, and it says like on the top of this hill is a small wooden sign that points down, and it says Orion.
I'm just trying to remember out of character. Have we ever been like to a coast or like seaside area before?
Not really. Like the only thing I can think of that would have been similar enough would be like the swamp area, and even then that's not that similar. Like we haven't even been like around a particularly big lake or anything, have we?
I don't remember
really,
ever being near the sea.
You guys cross large bodies of water with rook in the forest.
Yeah, but they were like
that was
swampy lakes and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but
suppose,
kind of like.
like at the very end of the Red Forest where we found Polaris, that was supposed to be on a coast, but we didn't like get the chance to look around
I
at
don't
that.
think
True,
saw that
actually,
was
yeah.
there.
The very far end of like that
Yeah.
entire area
Yeah.
was meant to be the coastline, but the dragon attacked and you guys had to like take cover. So,
Yeah,
but,
so we've never really been.
yeah, like as from
You know,
this angle,
Sorry, this is probably the first. Like, I don't know in Coda's case, but this is probably the first time Isadora is seeing the ocean.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the same with Coda. I've never seen the sea before.
yeah, as you guys stand on this hill, you can see kind of like an elevated like sight of the city, and it looks kind of like, you know, big and bubbling, not like overcrowded, but like it's well built. It's like, you know, thatch and wooden, and it's kind of probably slate-ish, rooftops, dark, and like they're kind of close together, compact. They've got like, it's that kind of like, you know, white stone with like, you know, the wooden frames, the like dark brown wooden frames you kind of typically see in kind of like Germanic like medieval villages, that sort of thing. There's like contrasting these side by side, as some buildings are built out of this kind of rich clay red stone, and there seems to be large warehouses, and you can see these sprawling docks and loads, and like, I mean, the docks look packed with these massive ships and vessels, and the waves look like really choppy because the wind is pretty high, and like the sea air is just like overpowering your nose, because again, if it is essentially your character's first time fully like getting a wallop of this, like the air smells different, feels different, it feels kind of coarser on your skin, but it feels fresh. It's the type of coarse and like wallop to the face that's like, oh, this is not what I'm used to, but like it feels so very oddly but fantastically refreshing. But yeah, like this city seems bubbling, and the gates aren't locked. The people on the watchtowers are kind of just like, yeah, they just seem to be kind of like, you know, going through their little, oh, no dragon attacks today. Kind of like, just, you can see 2 or 3 in the distance closest to you. Kind of like quite clearly the shapes are like huddling or leaning on like what, probably like a pike or a spear of some kind, like probably like napping while standing, that sort of thing.
And there's no sign of like Hand of Uria influence here yet, no?
From this distance, at least, you cannot see like
no
towers
banners or towers or nothing.
The walls look aged, as if these stone walls have been here for quite some time, and don't really seem to be, like, again, from the angle and the distance you guys are at, doesn't seem to be much scarring or anything like that on the wall. But yeah. Oh yeah, it's also worth noting that the Mapperino, Orion is here, but it's a case of like there's kind of like hills and mountainsides kind of more here, and like kind of like the city's kind of like not pinned. The direction your guys are coming from Uria, there's it's like at least for a couple of hours a day when the sun is at the right angle, this town is probably in the shadow of the mountain kind of thing. Like there's a lot of hills and stuff to this things. To your actual direct left, but like beside this city, and then past like the city is just kind of coast and like Greenland and forests.
And is this patch here? That's also Orion.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this is like the big city, and it's a case of like this area here directly to the left of the city is, or the right on, if you're looking at your screens, I guess, is kind of like all hills and mountains kind of thing.
I may be misremembering this because it's been like 2 years, but I seem to remember you saying that Orion was the second biggest city in Erythor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So this is pretty big.
Well, I probably
nothing on
that,
Uria,
in terms
but
of
like
scale. Probably in hindsight, it probably goes Uria, Dagdam, then Orion.
Okay.
Yeah, like Orion's a pretty big city, but it's like it's definitely, I definitely think Dagdam is probably more sprawling and more complex. And Orion's just kind of like a large city because it's more like a trading city. Like it's definitely made up of more warehouses and such.
Okay.
For like transporting goods in and out of the city and all that jazz.
So this is kind of like a dock town, like import export kind of stuff, yeah.
100%, yeah. It's the main location of imports and exports when it comes to like, you know, outside the Erythorian, whatever they need. Don't know the word. So what you guys going to do?
I mean, let's head down. Let's check it out.
You guys on your horsey horses?
Yes, but as we get closer to the city, maybe we dismiss them.
It's probably a weird first impression to make riding in on a horse made of water, so...
Not just that, but as we fled in the night, what we were on would being a little more recognizable than
that's true.
us ourselves.
Yeah, like there's not that many people walking around on water horses, so.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You guys, travel about like a safe distance. You guess a safe distance, dismiss your mounts, and just gingerly walk down the road. And it takes you a little while, but eventually you come upon a gate. And as you're like, this gate is really wide. Like it looks like it's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Are people just like coming in and out?
You see a horse-drawn cart that's kind of filled to the brim, and it seems to be taking the road this way to Alun. But yeah, the gates, as this like cart pulls through, the gate's quite wide and quite tall. It's clearly designed for letting large convoys of goods and carts and horse-drawn things like come and go with ease. It's a really wide opening kind of thing. But yeah, when you guys approach and this merchant, they look like kind of got like a wide brim hat, like several bags attached and kind of nice clothes. They look kind of well of money. There's several like kind of like generic mercenary looking guys, like haven't shaved in a while. The woman has like a scar over her eye. They look like kind of like hardy characters sitting on like the wagon that's probably like just hired muscle. This like kind of traveling merchant, kind of like just tips their cap, kind of like just tips the brim of their hat to is like the party, I guess, not just Isidore and Coda, but like the party. And one of the guards dressed in kind of a royal blue and kind of like shades of sky, like kind of lighter and slightly. Their armor is very blue, like the ocean. Kind of got blues and teals and small greens, and it's like kind of a nice wavy feel to it. Kind of just like puts their hand up and he walks. He's got like, it looks kind of like a man in his 30s. He's got like long blonde hair that's tied back and kind of a tight ponytail, like keep it out of his eyes kind of thing. Clean shaven, probably shaved that morning kind of thing. Walks up and he's just like, "Hey, Matt, do you intend to enter the city?"
We do.
All right. May I ask where you hail from and what your business is in the dear city?
Out of character, we should have thought of this.
Well, we didn't know we were going to be asked.
I thought we could just walk into Orion.
It's 100%. This dude is not menacing. He's just literally like,
hey, he's just like, this is what we ask everyone.
Yeah. It's like we don't recognize you. Where are you coming from, bud? That sort of thing.
We're hailing from Uria and we're here to see some friends.
Yeah, all right. He's like, do you intend to stay long at all, or?
Just a couple of days. We're really passing through.
Okay, so might I suggest the Albatross Inn? It's very cozy, good rates. But and he kind of steps back and like gestures forward. He's like, enjoy your stay in our fair city.
Oh, thank you so much. And as we walk past, she whispers to Coda, "That's nice. I like when guards are nice."
That was a much easier checkpoint than Uria, certainly.
Well, everything's easier than Uria.
New map!
Hey!
Oh, I love the Kraken and the sea monster out to the right there.
Yeah, they busy boys coming for them ships.
There's mechanism mages guilds here.
Yeah, actually.
They're not hand yet. They're still individual buildings.
Well, let's wait and find out.
Oh, I'm excited.
You guys enter into the city. It is ripe with activity. The kind of spaced out white cobbles are like uneven to the point where like they probably could have done a better job, but it's not uneven to walk on. There's carts coming to and fro. There's people going about their daily lives. Stalls like, oh, hey, we got fresh apples and we got fresh oranges. It's like, oh, fresh catch of the day. And as you enter from the left, I know the city walls aren't on the map, but it's a case of like this is the entrance area here near the inn.
Yeah.
The first building you guys spy with a massive sign is the Scurvy Dog. It's an inn that looks really robust and exotic. Like the sign is very like the flourish on like the paint job is really nice, and like it just looks like a really, really nice inn. Top of the range, like high quality. You just looking at it, you're like, oh, this would probably belong in the rich district in Uria, that kind of thing. But as you guys pass, there's like kind of walk in. There's like an elf, just like like quite literally like flicking a coin up and down, by the scurvy dog, and he's like, new travelers.
Hi.
He's like, staying long in the city, are we?
Just a few days.
Well then, good sir. And he with like an exotic step out, or not exotic, an excited step out. He like puts his hand on Coda's shoulder and like gestures to the signs like, no better place to rest your bone than the scurvy dog. Not fresh linen, silk sheets, and all for only 5 gold a night. That's you wouldn't get that in this big city.
I want to inside him.
Yeah, go for it, bud.
Coda's
Because
kind of
it's either... Sorry, it's either like, this guy's legit, and the guard has like, I don't know, a vested interest in getting us to stay in the other one, or... That's only a 10. So.
Can I inside him as well?
Yeah, of course, dude. Work away.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you guys, you can't get a read on him. He's just a salesman who's very enthusiastic about the scurvy dog.
Coda's in that awkward position where, like, he doesn't know how to deal with the social situation, so he's just, like, too polite to say no. So he's kind of just like, oh, yes, oh, yeah, oh, alright, that sounds lovely.
Fantastic, and, like, kind of ushers Coda towards the door and is like, let me get that for you.
Looking back at his door like, help me.
She like grabs Coda's other arm and she says, "Oh, nice to meet your cousin, darling. Let's go!" And she pulls him away.
He's like, oh well.
We'll be back later. Bye.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to say no.
You never know how to say no.
He twirls on his heel and closes the door with a flourish and just perches himself back up against the wall and keeps flicking that gold coin.
Vulture.
I thought he seemed nice. I don't know.
You're a merchant. You have to know people's tricks. Come on.
I really don't, though, unfortunately. I was a very bad merchant.
Really? Imagine.
Which direction are you guys going, friendos?
Are there like signs and stuff in the middle of town, like pointing? Because I know that guy said the albatross and stuff, and like, but are there signs saying like market this way, albatross this way?
Yeah, 100%. It's like you guys are kind of like say here roughly for the sake of it, and there's like a sign pointing like this direct towards the watch HQ, this way towards market, this way towards the Tross, this way towards the mayor, and it's like mechanist and mage.
Can we like just have a wander and like
sure,
like,
yeah.
say we're heading towards the albatross, but we're like just having a like we're taking the long route to see what this is like.
Kind of take interest in the signs and like they still have mechanist and mages guilds here.
Maybe they're old signs. As we're looking around, do we see like any sort of hand influence?
No, there is no hand influence here. From what you can tell, anyway, there's no one brandishing Hand of Uria sigils. There's no one wearing the Thought Police helmets or wearing the like similar uniforms.
Like what I mean is even like in Uria, there was like a faint presence, that kind of way.
Yeah, I get you. No, here seems all good in the hood. It's just like the only people who look in an authoritative figure or position, sorry, not figure, are individuals dressed in that kind of like cluster of blues and greens that kind of like look like the sea. Watch uniforms walking around. They seem to have like kind of like just steel helms on. That watch uniform, you can see bits of like chainmail, sometimes scale mail jutting out from underneath their cloth, like the kind of like, I always call them tabards, that kind of like the overlay of cloth to show their colors. They've got nice swords on their hilts, but they seem to be just kind of walking and talking. They seem kind of jolly and nice. They're just like, they're just like none of the cops or the watch, sorry, seem to be like menacing. They're just kind of like walking, and every so often one might peek down an alleyway to just kind of like, oh, there's nothing happening, cool, yeah, and then walk on. And like it's always two people walking together, that kind of thing. That seems to be working in groups, like the buddy system. And it seems to be always either just walking or just walking and talking. No one kind of seems out of place or like overly like, hey, have you heard of the Hand of Uria? But yeah, give me a general route that do you guys essentially want to like check out the mages and then the mechanist and the market then the albatross, or what's the general vibe?
I mean, I guess if we came in by the inn, the first place we'd hit is probably the market, right? So we can start there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, when you guys go in, this place is like it's it's like a long corridor, a long tunnel almost of like these like threads and hanging baskets and nets, all like kind of like coat the roof of the area. Like, and you can see the sun's beating down through it. There's just stalls. It's kind of packed. It's like people are like trying to sell you everything and anything. There's trinkets. There's magical items. Like, read your fortune, stranger. He's like, oh, like I've got this special deck of cards. You want to take one? There's like
Yes.
No.
It's like, guys, how did the two-person session go? It's like, well, he died.
Yeah, well, Coda's soul ripped out of his body. It's fine.
There's a lot of fresh produce on sale. There's a lot of fresh fish. Some people are like, oh, you like swords? I can sharpen your sword. Come by the shop. There seem to be some sort of like, there seems to be a lot of criers for like, say, buildings that aren't necessarily stalls. And you kind of like walk through this like kind of like street of stalls and hanging fruits and baskets and pots and kind of like everything above you guys that's hanging is like pretty much looks like you might dig it up if you had fishing nets. Like, it's just like a load of everything is just hanging above you guys through these big crisscross fishing nets and strings and threads and like pipes. Well, not pipes, kind of like wooden struts. And as you come out at the end of this tunnel, it's this massive wide open square. And again, it's just more stalls with these makeshift little like a fish, quite literally a fishing net roofs, like dangling things, and like some people are pointing to them. It's like, oh, hey, look, I sell pots. Do you want pots? And there's pots behind them, pots in front of them, pots above them. Everywhere there's a freaking pot, like that sort of thing. And like all the buildings that lie in this square are like, like there's alchemists, there's herbalists, there's blacksmiths, there's all kind of everything and anything. Everything you'd need is in the town market square. Coda.
Yeah.
With your passive perception, you doth spy.
Uh-huh.
From the left, as you guys enter, and you're kind of like, whoa, this is a new area. This is nice. Ooh, looking around. You swing your head to the left, and you catch a glimpse of of an individual that sticks out like a sore thumb. Their robes are really thick, dense, and heavy. The hood is up. You can't quite see their face, but this individual is walking through the market, and they are just. That's a coin purse. That's a coin purse. Leaning over a table, coin purse. And they are doing this in pure view of everyone. No one is reacting to them.
Into the ring, I'll kind of point him out to Isadora.
Like, if I turn, can I spy this person?
You can indeed. Yeah, it's a case of like Coda looked left and Izzy looked right, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And when Coda pointed, like, wait, what, really? I didn't spot him. And then it's like, yeah, you can see this kind of very tall individual, very much on the tall side, kind of wide shouldered, really dense, thick. Their robes and hood and cloak, it kind of seems to be all a mishmash of one. It's kind of these thick, really, really thick, tightly woven materials. It's kind of this dense green, almost like kind of like deep algae. But there is embroidered into it are in like the tiniest difference in shade are these like swirls and diamonds. Kind of think like the Newgrange engravings, that kind of style. Those kind of swirls and diamond shapes and such. But yeah, this individual is just literally walking down Market Square, like just literally taking coin purses off people's backsides and sides, and on that coin purses are sitting on tables, and like no one is batting or reacting to this individual.
Are they like coming in our direction?
It's a case of you guys are, say, just for the placement on the board, you guys are say here, and this guy is kind of like 2 rows ahead of you, and he's kind of walking like left to right.
Do you want to follow him or just intercept him here?
Yeah, what she's gonna do is like sort of step into his path, I guess, and if he gets to her and tries to pick her pocket, like call him out on it.
Okay, can I get a performance check, Amy? Just kind of like, Izzy's like, oh gosh, look, a thing, I would buy that, like, cocks like hip out with coin purse, like,
Yeah.
Can I be kind of standing to the side, like acting as if I'm not with her, but like the minute he grabs her coin purse, kind of ready to step in and get him?
Like, if I suppose she catches him, she's not going to like declare it to the whole crowd.
No, it's more just
be
like take his arm and be like, hey, put that back, kind of thing.
Don't be a dick. Yeah. 20.
Yeah, Izzy, you are like 100% like, oh look, a thing. I will buy it with my massive coin.
In all fairness, we do have a lot of money.
We do have a lot of money.
Oh, you do. And without a shadow of a doubt, you're like, leaning over and saying, what have we got here? And you just feel that like, bunk, as the coin purse comes up, and this person's just walking, like literally doesn't even like turn to look at Izzy. It's just literally like almost automatic.
Yeah. So I try to catch them by the wrist, I guess.
Can I have a dex save to kind of be like, whatcha? Like,
I'll be kind of
fast.
standing ready if she misses to grab him.
Yeah, please. I don't actually want to lose all my money.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Should I roll? Does she miss him?
Yes, you may roll as well, Coda.
But even
Oh
the fact,
god.
okay, the fact that I do miss him, like I still felt it happen, so I'm gonna say, oh, you can put that back, actually.
As I trip over my feet and crash
Yeah.
into him.
Hold on, guys. 1 second. People are calling me.
I haven't been to a new town in so long.
I can't believe I nearly got us robbed again.
I mean, you may have gotten us robbed. Don't say nearly yet. You may have actually gotten us robbed. We'll get him. We know what he looks like. He's the weirdo in the Newgrange robes. Like, he sticks out. I don't think there's any ending to this where he gets away with our money and we don't get him.
Yeah.
Now that I've said that, he's absolutely gonna get away with the money. I'm sorry for jinxing your money. How
Maybe
much-
I shouldn't have.
Like, how much did she... Was it all her money?
Well, we'll wait for it down and come back, I guess. I have to imagine, like, if we are traveling on the road, it would make like logical sense to split the money between a couple of coin purses.
Also, I'd assume, like, I would offer, like, if you wanted to put some of it in Henry and keep some of it on your person, like, he could just carry it. Or even in the bag of holding or something, you know? Who carries the bag of holding? Is it Esme?
I think so.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's always open to the party kind of thing, but it's more a case of the one person that springs to mind who's kind of always saying like, "Put it in the bag of holding." It's always been Neil, but I think that's just because, like, Neil tends to roll like investigation the highest most of the time, and also, I know Laura, you tend to use Henry more when you're saying like, "I put it in this," but like I like to think it's just more like a shared pool because. I get like realism, but it's kind of like a pain in the ass when it's like, oh hey, I take it out of the home. It's like, oh well, Neil isn't here this session, so you don't, like, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool. It's more, I think, just for the minute, Esme has it, but it's a shared resource at the moment. So, Coda, you rolled a 3 and 1, was it?
I crit failed.
Okay, right.
But
okay.
Darren, I still like felt him try to take it, so I'm still gonna call him out on it.
All right. So what does Isadora say?
Right, you can put that back actually. And she like turns and like holds her hand out.
This individual kind of like, it's like the hood tilts the tiniest bit, almost as if they're like, "Is she talking to me?" kind of thing, that sort of thing. They don't immediately like, what? They're just kind of like, you see, like they keep walking, but you see the hood tilt the tiniest amount towards Isadora's side, as if like, she didn't talk to me, right? And Coda, I like to think Coda's like, "Njit," and like just loses his footing on some some brine that's left over, a fish cart. It's like, "Whoa," and like kind of falls, and like, you know, it's that type of thing where like there's a crash and it cuts to Coda and there's a pot on his head. He's like, yeah, like with horns. I don't know how it works, but it does. You think I care? This is an animated movie, guys. But yes, so there you go.
Hey, I'm actually talking to you.
Yeah, again, he does not respond to Izzy's words.
Right, I said after him then.
Ooh, can I try something?
Yeah. Just, I'm assuming like Coda gets whoa boy and puts them.
I want to pull the wicker mask down and cast grease again and try and slip him up. So he needs to make a dex save.
The grease sprawls out onto the floor, and like some people are like, "Oh, jeez!"
It's only like,
Like,
I
there's
think it's only
definitely-
like 10 or 5 foot radius. It's like literally just in front of him. Like,
Yeah, that's cool. This individual just glides right over. Like he steps through it, but it does not affect.
Hey! And then she's actually gonna set out after him.
Okay, Izzy wouldn't really need to like walk, like run. It'd be more like if anything, a soft jog. He's kind of more walking with a brisk pace.
I'll pick
he's just
myself
kinda-
up and go after her as well.
She's going to like match his pace and like walk beside him and deliberately turn to him and say, "Look, just give back my purse, and I won't have to go to the watch about this, okay?"
He stops. The second Izzy matches him, looks at him, and speaks, he stops instantly. And he you see the really deep, heavy, low hood kind of like just slow, like a smidge turns to Izzy, and he's like, "It's not an easy thing to see a keeper, especially one that does not wish to be seen."
I don't know what that is. I don't know who you are. Give back my purse.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, buddy, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. Just give back what you took.
Persuasion check, please, Isadora. I thought you said coded shears up, and I was like, "That I'm glad." Good for you, buddy. I'm glad you're going to a more positive space. That's nice.
Glad for you, man.
Ron Swanson, like, right on, dude.
16.
The hand with a flourish into a pocket, and like almost in one motion, it's like hand swings wide pocket in front of Isadora. Like it's a coin purse, and like hands it, and he's like, "For being such a good sport," and he walks.
Creep. And she makes sure it's all still there.
As Izzy's looking at it, he walks. Isadora, that coin purse has like 10 gold in it.
Hey! And then she's actually gonna shoot a ray of frost at him.
Oh, nice. Go for it.
I'm still just catching up and taking the pot off my head and just see her shoot a ray of frost at this guy.
Be like, "Oh god, what did I miss?"
Coda's like pulling the pot off. He's like, "Gosh, I hope there's nothing bad happening." And pulls it up and immediately sees a beam of ice. And he's like, "Oh boy.
God."
Does 25 hit, Darren?
You know what, Isadora? It doesn't. Because when this ray of frost... when Izzy shoots this ray of frost, it is coming straight for this individual's like back, the center of the spine. Like, it is going to strike true. And with flourish, he spins, puts up his hand, and like his left hand glows. The glove does, and you see like the ray of frost just be warped and pulled into this glove. And and then you see the front of this individual. That was weird. I heard a knocking sound, and it sounded like it came from my window, and I was like, "Oh my god, vampires!" Oh boy, I'm going to die. Yes, this individual is wearing kind of robes and bits of leather underneath. You're not entirely sure if it's more fashion over function. It's kind of hard to tell, but like it's thick robes. It's this deep, the green robes are kind of algae colored, like swirly, diamondy, embroidered robe. Kind of like one more thin layer of like kind of like this grayish, kind of like it almost looks like, the kind of loose stitched cardigan fabric kind of underneath. It's kind of a grey. And underneath that then is this kind of leathery clothes. Again, not entirely sure if it's function over fashion. Nice boots that look very worn. These boots have seen a hell of a lot of travel. Thick brown gloves, kind of like Coda's blacksmithing gloves, actually. That kind of like thick materials, like workers' gloves. The top of their this individual's chest, it's kind of like nice embroidered stitchery, kind of similar enough. The top of the like leather bits are kind of embroidered with the similar swirls. And staring you in the face is a silver mask. It looks a lot like a seeker's mask, but it's quite blatantly like a face mask. You can see like piercing kind of hazel eyes in them, like looking out, and like you can see bits of kind of like slightly like tanned or bronze skin, like cheekbones jutting out from the mask. It's not a perfect fit, but this person is quite clearly wearing a mask. And he's like, I won't tell you again, girl. Leave it be.
Darren, does anything about this person remind me of, like, the Order or the Orchestra?
No, they do not. If they are order or orchestra, they are certainly not donning any familiar materials. Although the only thing that is 100%, like possibly, like not possibly the only thing, but the only thing that's kind of jumping out at you guys, like I suppose in character and both out of character, like is the fact that like only you can see them. That sort of thing. Like he's navigating with ease. But yeah, nothing about this person is even like, and I say it's kind of like a seeker's faceplate in the same that it's like the planes of the face, but a lot of the swirls from this individual's robes are kind of really lightly like tapped, like kind of like pointillism-y style, like dots into the mask kind of thing. It's not like perfectly carved or like etched. Actually, to be honest, the mask actually kind of looks like a real home back garden kind of job. Everything else looks really professionally tailored. This mask looks really like I did this kind of thing.
Like, do I get the impression that the mask is more trying to imitate a seeker face?
It's certainly like, yeah, it would be safe to assume that in the sense that like it's very similar. It's the color job is a bit different, and like obviously the eye areas are open. They're not like the sheet metal, like the full metal kind of thing. But yeah, it's very much like they're very similar. If you put them side by side, like you could see like it would be like an 85 or 90% match kind of thing.
Why do you even need it? Who the fuck are you?
The ground swirls in between you and Isadora, or before you and this man, as a wall of like rushing air kind of like juts up in the way, and it's kind of like it's a gust of wind. It's kind of like it kicks up dirt and slime from again the fish stalls into like towards Izzy and Connor, like ugh, like hands. It's like that's just uncalled for. Like it's not a case of it blinds, but it's just that momentary where your hand comes up to stop like the dust going directly into your eyes, and when your hand is down, you see that this person is indeed sprinting in the opposite direction.
I follow him.
Yeah, I'm gonna chase him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. You kind of like lose your footing a smidge, with the wall of four, like the wall of kind of air that's in front of you, but it's more a case of like you trip and keep going, that sort of thing. But this person takes off, like kind of going southwards through like the alleyways and such, and he's kind of sprinting. It's a case of like they're running like even. They seem to be like kind of like a solid runner. Can I have athletics to keep up with them, please?
Nah, son. I don't get that ability till next level. Never mind.
Shit.
What ability are you talking about, Laura?
I get an ability next level where I can like target a shot at say like their legs to make them fall prone or something, but I don't get it till next level.
Yes. Cool. Rock and roll. Yeah, no, you guys essentially fall behind, and this person gains some distance in the alleyways. Like they are pretty much at the they are a chunk ahead. Like this guy is like sprinting. You can see he's like barreling towards a brick wall. And this thing is like 15 feet high. Is there anything you wish to do, or is it a case of you're still chasing after?
I don't know. Wait, he's running toward the wall.
Yeah, a complete brick wall.
I clap my hands and aim it at the wall.
Oh, nice. It's a con save to not get knocked over?
I didn't differentiate, so I think I just roll.
Alright, cool. Yeah, roll.
20.
Yeah, this thing, like, Izzy claps, and it's like boom, 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 boom. This big shockwave like ripples off the walls, and this the ground shakes, the wall crumbles and cracks, and you see he like raised his hand with a piece of chalk, like a stick of chalk, and was going to do something, and like and like kind of like moves and falls and like kind of loses his footing, and like the ground kind of shakes and trembles, and he drops the chalk, and he's like fuck, and you see in a familiar like what's the word, I guess, fashion. When Esme's puff of smoke happens, it's kind of similar, but it's kind of like a instead of like an aura of smoke and a little like Esme's is, it's more like a thin outline of kind of like this kind of like sky blue magic and kind of like a jolt, like a little glitch of it like dragging, and he's like up on the, like you see he like misty steps up onto the top of the wall that's beginning to crumble. It looks very weakened, and like he looks back and like you see the chalk is on the ground. He like looks at it and he's like fuck, and like jumps out, like kind of like goes to drop down. What do you do?
Like the other side of the wall.
Yeah. Like this was essentially a large wall that would have partitioned off alleyways, perhaps leading to like 2 separate buildings. But it's pretty much coming down now. He's pretty much like punched a hole in the wall, and it just needs one last wallop to like essentially make like a people-sized door to go through.
Yeah, I want to see if I can knock down this wall.
Alright, cool.
Would I be able to grab that chalk before the whole wall comes down and buries it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, do that.
Izzy, you're using your thingamajig again, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
17.
Yeah, 100%. Like this, like Izzy's like claps, and this dude's like whoa, and jumps, and like as he's on the top of it, like Izzy's like, oh no, you don't. And claps again, and it pretty much as this wall shatters open into like a pretty solid hole that you guys can follow through. You can see this dude just literally lands as like all the bricks come flying, and you see one hit him in the side of the head, and he yelps kind of thing, and like he's like holding the back of his head, and he kind of like starts running, kind of slowing down as you guys run past Coda. You pick up the chalk, sort of thing.
Yeah, I pick it up.
And this individual keeps sprinting, and like again, he's like going through alleyways and like over little boxes and crates and stuff. Can I have one more athletics check, please, friend?
Yep.
Like, you guys are like essentially right behind.
Oh shit!
You essentially like it pretty much like he throws like a trash can almost down as he's running, and like as he turns like to throw it down, you see like drips of blood splash along the ground. Like he seems to have taken a serious bash to the back of the head, and he like disappears around the corners. You guys kind of fumble and get like knock into this thing. You guys essentially are knocked prone and like are in a hoop and like land on each other, that sort of thing.
When we manage to get up and like go around the corner that he rounded, can we still see him?
You cannot, but Coda's passive perception would see that there is not a evenly distributed, but there is certainly blood. Like
like a trail we could follow, maybe?
Couple of feet. Yeah, like a very, very thin, but like a case of like if the investigation, if you guys investigated, like, you know, kept your eye keen on this, you could probably follow a small trail of blood, yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. We should keep going. We should catch him.
Okay. He calls himself a keeper, whatever the hell that means.
I have no idea. But I got his chalk. I don't think that's worth anything, but still, I got it.
As we're following the trail of blood, can I detect magic on the chalk?
Yes, you may. One second, I will tell you. Oh,
that's my crappy investigation. I'm really into this guy's whole aesthetic.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they're he's very fun. I'm quite fond of him myself.
Like, I'm worried that this is like someone official that we've pissed off now, but I want my money back.
that's 100% fair.
Oh
no. Yes, when you look at the chalk, it is conjuration out the wazoo. This thing is like igniting. It's like pretty much screaming like I am conjuration.
All right, we've got a bargaining chip.
But we can't find him to bargain.
Well, let's see if we can.
It's a case of you guys like proceed down the trail. It's just it takes you a while when it kind of you get out into the alleyway to kind of like get out from the alleyway, which is into the busy streets again near the fishing companies, to find a proper like trail. Like it takes you a good while. Like you like essentially if you were to say sprint after this guy's long gone. If he's kept up the pace that he was in, he's probably gone. But it takes you like a good 40 minutes or so to like kind of like is it this way, and eventually you're like a bit of blood, and it kind of disappears into like kind of a large crowded area. This person probably like tried to use the crowd to mask themselves, because again they realize that you can actually see them. If you wish to say follow this trail through the crowded thing, it would be survival.
Yeah, I think we should try to follow it to see if we can like at least figure where he disappeared to.
Yeah.
And then we'll see.
Hey, finally a good roll.
All right, there you go.
Yay.
Nice, well done. Oh boy, guys, excellent. Yeah, you guys follow it kind of out past the like fishing companies and towards the docks. You kind of get like down around here. Like again, like I know it's like I didn't want to overpopulate the map. But, like this place is pretty like like buildings are everywhere. People are going. There's like people are like popping out from alleyways and like, hey, you want me to read your fortune, love? Like they're like really scaly, like not scaly, but kind of like crusty looking, all fucking like just clearly trying to cheat you out of money, that sort of thing.
She just marches past. Woman on a mission.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I already
100%.
lost enough money today.
But like you guys are both hot on the tail. It's a case of it went cold for ages, and now you're like, here it is. Like he must have slowed down and taken a breath, and he's after kind of bleeding a bit more here, that sort of thing. And like you guys, proceed. And you like kind of come to like down around the bottom right of the map or so. It's kind of like seems to be like the docks aren't. Some parts of the docks kind of closer towards exactly. Kind of more towards the Albatross and kind of just the north side of the city. Like just glancing over, like look like way nicer docks. Looks kind of like a nicer side of town. The wrong side of the Albatross. That sort of thing. But you guys are kind of like going towards a kind of a shantier looking area, and the blood seems to go towards like this building that, for all intents and purposes, looks completely abandoned. Like pretty much like if this was a modern setting, there'd be like condemned, don't go in, you'll die, that kind of thing. Like it's the trail kind of like goes towards this building, and you see it kind of goes down an alleyway to the side and forward, and you follow it and kind of hook around because the alleyways here are kind of like arbitrary and all over the place a little bit. But you see it's going towards like what looks like a kind of like a smashed window. It looks like someone broke a rock, put a rock through it, and probably like like tried to chisel out most of the glass they could, but like it's blatantly going towards this kind of like essentially one person through at a time window.
Can I like peek in the window to see if I can see anything?
You can indeed. Are you doing so quietly or just kind of like walking up to it?
I'd be doing it quietly.
Okay, cool. Give me a stealth check and then give me a perception check.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I kind of just perception to listen at like maybe a door or something that he wouldn't be able to see through necessarily, but like just see if I can hear anything inside?
That's stealth.
Yeah. Laura, are you trying to do similar like stealth and listen, that kind of thing?
Well, I was not going to the window. I was going to go somewhere where, like maybe to the door where like I wouldn't have to stealth. But maybe, or is it a case of I have to stealth wherever I go?
I'm gonna say you have to stealth.
Okay, yeah, I'll try. That's my stealth.
Cool. Give me your listening check, friend.
A little better.
Cool. All right. So Izzy is quiet as a mouse. Can't quite like make anything out. It's like, what the hell? It's like it all looks the same. It just looks dusty and balls in there. And Coda's a little bit like steps on a broken bottle kind of thing when he's creeping up to the door. But you hear like, I lost the chalk. Where have you been? I've got in contact with you all. It's like, I'm after losing the chalk. I can't get home. Just, like, and he's like, no, I can't just tell him. No, I'm not risking this. No, we've talked about this.
I'm gonna relay all this to Izzy through the ring.
Where is Coda standing?
Well, he was listening probably at the door-ish area.
Around the corner from it. Like, Coda's standing at the front door of a building, Izzy's looking at the window at the right of the house. That kind of thing.
Like, he just seems pretty... Like, he sounds pretty desperate.
I'm gonna kind of say to the ring, like, maybe we can just offer him the chalk in exchange for information? I don't know, maybe he won't listen.
Yeah, no, she agrees to that. So what she's gonna do, she's gonna, like, step to the side and then, like, knock on the door frame. And just, like, call in, look, we know you're in there, we don't want to hurt you. Give me back what you stole, and I'll give you back your chalk.
You hear him just be like, "Shit, gotta go. 1 sec."
Come on, I know you can hear me.
He's like, "How can you see me?"
None of your business.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's very much my business. I'm in the business of not being seen, and yet here are two individuals chasing a bleeding man, so I think it's very much my business.
Okay, why are you taking people's money?
Man's gotta eat.
Who are you talking to?
I wasn't talking to anyone.
I heard you.
Bullshit.
Look, we're not enemies. We'll give you your chalk back. You can get home. Just
I'm
give us back
I'm,
what you took from us.
Anyone who can usually see me is pretty much an enemy, so
Look, we don't have any interest in hurting you. We don't. Frankly, I don't want anything to do with you. I just want what you took.
A persuasion check, please, Isadora.
Bit of a cheeky ask, but can I have advantage because Coda was also talking to him?
Yeah.
I can roll to assist if you want.
Yeah, please roll to assist. Yeah.
Persuasion is...
Ooh, just about.
Rock and roll. That is indeed advantage.
Okay. You're...
Oh, nice.
Geez, look at that, like,
that courage.
Jesus.
Nice. Well done. He's like, just round the... Come in and we'll think of something. Did you guys enter?
Cautiously.
Yeah, cautiously.
Cool.
I'll go in.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with my shield up, but now I don't have a shield anymore.
With this building, kind of looks like it was probably like a derelict home. It certainly looks like it was more like a home that's just run its course. This individual seems to be standing in the kitchen. You guys navigate your way. You see the hood is down, and you can see like ashen hair is down, but it's also stained red. These individuals clutching the back of their head, and they're kind of like wobbling. There is a lot of blood coming out of the flowing down from the back of their head, like onto the floor. Like their clothes are pretty stained, and like they're kind of almost like leaning against the kitchen table to be like ha ha ha. But you can tell 100% he is like trying to keep himself balanced, like this kind of thing. And he's like, I can't believe I'm gonna get done in by a bunch of snot-nosed kids.
We're not going to hurt you.
Do you know what? I'll sweeten the deal. You give me back my money, I give you the chalk, and I fix that wound for you.
He pauses and he's like, you can see his eyes are like. It's also worth noting, actually, now that the hood is down and the hair is out, you can see what looks like half elf kind of length ears jutting out from the side of the mask.
And he's still wearing the mask.
Yeah, the mask is on, but it's more like the hood is down.
We're sorry for hurting you. We just want what you took.
And you can see he's like takes his hand down from the back of his head, and it's like dripping with blood, kind of thing. Like haphazardly, like reaching into his pockets, and he's like takes out like a coin purse that Izzy would know to be hers. It's like, it's like it looks like all the other brown leather coin purses, but it's like, yeah, that's mine. I know that one. It's the purse with bad motherfucker written on it.
She just cross-stitched it in like, I'm a bad bitch.
Yes. It's the
more one evening.
It's the coin purse with bad motherfucker written on it. Yes. Anyway, like he kind of like gestures forward, and like as he gestures forward, the table begins to move as he like kind of loses his balance, and he just completely like slaps down onto the ground.
Ooh, okay,
No, it's too late to try and dex save to grab him now.
Oh, no, it's a case of like he was 10 feet away.
Yeah, oh, right, yeah, sorry.
I'll
go down and like help him up then and like sit him at the table.
Yeah, no, if Coda's helping him up, Isadora's going to check the purse. Is everything in there?
Yeah, it's 100% like the amount he took off his.
Okay, first things first. Well, has like Coda helped him up?
I've sat him at the table, like kind of. I'm helping.
Oh no, this dude's out cold. He's bleeding out.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, okay.
Oh god, okay.
Okay.
Then I'm just panicking.
I'm sure everything's in the purse. I'm gonna heal him.
Or is it just like cure wounds or like spare the dying?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, we'll spare the dying and then I'll cure wounds. Just to be sure. I don't actually want to kill anyone here.
We can't kill someone with this good an aesthetic. Like, come on.
I mean, we're gonna kill a lot of people with good aesthetics before this campaign.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking not wrong. But I hope they think we're not going to be wrong. But anyway, yeah, Izzy's like, spares the dying and like, does the kind of like, I know it's kind of an instant thing, but it's like, cast the spell, the runes float. You can see like his chest kind of like, like the body's no longer in shock of like, I'm going to die. He's essentially stabilized but unconscious. And you cast cure wounds. You can roll hit die if you want because rolling dice is fun.
Yeah, it's
sorry. It's one. Is it 1D or 2D?
I think cure wounds is 2.
I should know.
Depends on what level you're casting it, I think.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like casting it at all. Like, no offense to the lad. Like,
oh, that's cool. I legit.
1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Grand. Which is
Interesting ability.
I love the Grave Cleric ability that lets you, when you're rolling to like cure wounds on someone who's on 0, you instantly do like max healing on your dice.
It's real nice.
So
it's
good.
real nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Oh,
That's
nice,
pretty good.
excellent. That's a really good roll. Well done, dude. And with that, he essentially, his eyes like snap wide open, he's like kind of thing, and like he kind of like sees the two of you like kneeling over, and like he begins to like clamber back up against what looks like a cabinet.
Easy. That's like, I fixed the head wound, but you're still probably gonna have to get some looked at. But listen. You get your end of the deal. Here. And she holds out the chalk.
He slowly but surely like reaches forward and like takes it, and like slowly brings it back, kind of like no sudden movement sort of thing.
We're sorry we didn't mean to hurt you. That we just sorry.
Do me a favor. You see us in town again, you leave us alone. We see you, we don't say a word. Deal?
He just like without a word just kind of like offers his hand to kind of like shake on it.
Yep, she shakes his hand.
So how can you see me?
A friend showed us.
Like you can see his eyes kind of like go up as if like he's grinning underneath the mask. He's like, powerful friend, it seems.
You can say that.
Like, how long have you been outside the capital?
We've come and gone a few times, but we've only left 2-3 days ago.
How long have you been in our dear fair city, Orion?
20 minutes?
Yeah.
How long did it take to find you? An hour, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say you're probably just hitting the 2-hour mark now. And he's like, he's like, you can see me. You've been in the city less than a day and you're already chasing.
Isadora says into the ring to Coda to not give him too much information.
Yeah,
like, not necessarily a right lie, but just not give him anything he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, you showed me yours, I'll show you mine. And he draws a square on on the tiles in the dust, with the chalk, and kind of like pushes down on it, and it's just like almost like there's a door there, and it just swings on a hinge. Like, I can give you bed for the night if you wish.
I'm gonna inside him.
Yeah, go for it.
Uh, 14.
Yeah, like the tone seems legit, and like his eyes aren't darting around or kind of like sweaty or anything. Like he seems to be very much just like, yeah, if you need a place to rest for the night and don't want to pay for it, yeah, I have cots, that kind of thing.
Why? You didn't even think we could see you when we first met you. Why are you being so generous now?
Oh well, call it intuition. When you have a dream from a young age of bleeding out on a kitchen tiles and it happens, it tends to shake things up a bit. So let's say it's the benefit of the doubt, or maybe it's just because I have a concussion. Who knows?
Are you a part of some sort of guild? Thieves or something? What
Or
is
a
this?
cult?
Again, his eyes like do that like smiling underneath the mask thing. It's like, oh no, no madmen here, only us sane folk. He like taps his forehead, and you can see he's grinning underneath the mask.
Doubt JPEG. Press X to doubt.
And he's like, "Come on," and like he gets himself up and kind of thing. And essentially, when you guys peer into this little like area, you can see that the door is indeed hanging as if there was something beneath the structure, and it's just staircases, and it seems to kind of lead into a room. Like it's pretty much like this dude just pushed a door open that leads to kind of like a trapdoor style.
Yeah.
Like just stairs.
I asked Coda.
It's a case.
I asked Coda psychically what he thinks.
I don't trust it, but I'm too curious to leave.
You see the hood turn, or the head, sorry, because the hood isn't up, and he's like, speaking telepathically in the company of others is rude.
So is stealing their coin purses.
Ah, yes, but I suppose we've caught each other out, really, isn't it? And he's like, don't worry, I don't know what you're saying, it's just, magic looks funny when you can see it, and he taps the like eye part of his like mask. And he's like, come on.
Okay, but if this is another trick, we won't be so nice next time.
He's like, oh, don't worry. Going into an odd room with a strange person you just met, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, sure.
And like this dude kind of like sits. It's essentially the trapdoor has swung down, and the stairs are kind of like 5 feet down because the trapdoor is in the way. So it's kind of like abruptly, like it's essentially if it was badly placed in a video game kind of thing. But this dude kind of like sits at the lip like a kid, like kind of like dangling the legs, and just kind of like and just kind of hops down, that sort of thing. And kind of like watches his head because like the angle is really like poor. Like this trapdoor is a really odd shape because again he seems to have just drawn to the floor.
I'll give Coda a look and then go down.
Yeah, I'll go down as well.
Cool. Yeah, you guys essentially like follow suit. When you guys reach the bottom of the staircase, he kind of looks like you follow his gaze, and he's looking up at the trapdoor, and he holds the chalk, and he like just taps it twice with his finger at the tip, just like tap tap, and like the door closes up, and he's like, right, well, that's that.
It's a neat trick.
And he's like, oh, do you like it? It's mine. Well, it's not actually. That's a lie. I stole it.
Did you just steal everything?
Well, he turns to Izzy and he's like grinning, and he's like, "There's a joke there, but we won't go." This place is nothing but crates. It is oddly packed. Can I have deck saves to like narrowly, because like everything's packed together, everything is balancing. It's very much like you might knock something over and die. That sort of thing. Like everything's tower. Okay.
The second you said deck safe, I was like, I knew we couldn't trust him! Motherfucker! There we go.
Oh, Isadora glides perfectly. Coda, you're like, well, yeah. It's more just like to navigate it easily, like using your dexterous form. But you just hear from this individual, he's just like, don't worry about the vase. And like, it's like, and when Coda's moving, Coda's like, what? And knocks it over, kind of.
We're doing a movie reference, guys. That was a movie reference.
I mean, the movie referenced the book, but hey, moving on. But yeah, this individual leads you through all these crates, it kind of looks like a really dusty storeroom that hasn't been used in a while. And he pushes open again this equally dusty door. Again, it hasn't looked like it's been used in a while. He whistles 3 times, like high pitch, low pitch, high pitch, as he walks through. And keeps walking, and you guys get hit with an awful aroma. It's stagnant, it's stale, it smells like body odor, and kind of all these like formaldehyde and mucus. It's just a concoction of aromas, just assaults the nostrils. The room before you is complete chaos. It's like a hoarder's dream. There's crates, boxes, jars, dangling things. Like this dude's pretty tall. He like probably rivals Coda for height. And is like kind of like ducking under minding things, and like silverware is hanging, like really like the most pristine, like big silver water jugs, like big huge ones, like look like they clearly haven't got dust on them. These things are like dangling up there. Everything around them is just bar them. Like there's oddities, there's jars of eyes, like everything and anything is here. Oh yeah, it's a case of like there's like you can hear like heavy breathing coming beside like large crates. Well, like large square and rectangle shaped crates that you are covered with cloth, and you can clearly see like the edges of like iron bars underneath them, that kind of thing. Or yeah, 100%. There's like loads of dangly things. You hear like, oh, it's you. How'd you get back? Did you fix the chalk problem? And this really like oddly distorted looking dwarf. It was like if you got a dwarf, squashed them in and stretched them a smidge, it's really off. Like rounds the corner and looks at this individual, and like the second they see this individual, then they see you, like clambering from swords, and like the hooded figure is like, just leave me. And he's like, what the hell is what are? And he's,
sorry, is this dwarf dressed the same as this individual? Like, does he have a mask? Does he have these robes?
Oh no! This individual is like long, flowing, brunette hair, and kind of like a twirly mustache, and a very stylized, pointy, like the beard is kind of like into a point, very thin, but it's kind of hooks up. It's kind of like into a point and hooks around. It's very like stylized, very gelled. Mm-hmm. It's kind of ginger, and like streaks of like blonde are going through it. It's like really weird. This individual looks really distorted. They seem to be wearing kind of common clothes, kind of like not common clothes, but like they're not wearing armor, but they're wearing rather flamboyant, like top dollar clothes. Like they're common, like they're not armor. Like I obviously I end up saying common clothes, but like kind of flamboyant, nice clothes. And they're like, "What was this?" And like they wave a hand, like this guy waves a hand, like, just leave it. I was like, they saved my life, and he's like, they saved your what? I was like, they hit me in the back of the head with a rock, and oh, there's a lot of blood. And he's like, yeah, I can see that. And he's like, can you just patch me up like you always patch me up? He's like, for fuck's sake. And he's like, he looks at you two, and he's like, just don't touch anything. We don't want to die. You know?
Didn't mean to.
Okay, you keep saying that. What do you mean?
And you just hear like over Isadora's shows, like, oh, they just mean don't touch the jars of like the grubs or like the snails, or we have coyote snails over here.
Isidora turns to see who's talking.
On the large crate to your size, like head height with Isidora, is this super teeny tiny creature, humanoid shape but very tiny, with kind of like navy, kind of pale navy skin, and like slick back to like again a hook curve kind of thing, silver hair, and she's kind of got like really tight brown leggings and those kind of like those kind of curled up like elf shoes that's really like typical of fantasy, a kind of flamboyant and really puffy like top that's kind of like goes out and is kind of tied in at a belt, and the collar's kind of popped and open, and she's got like what looks like a teeny tiny rapier at her side. And she's kind of got her hands on her hips, and she's like, so who are you?
I'm Isidora, who are you?
I'm Darren accidentally closed a text file. One second.
Hi, Darren accidentally closed the text file.
Pleasure to
Who are
meet you. I'm trapped in your house. Isidora, untangle me, please.
I'm Girani. And she kind of
Is that in chat there?
Yeah, she kind of like Girani is her name, and she kind of like poses almost kind of like in a theatrical like ha.
Okay, next question. What is this, and what?
This is a room. It's used to house.
Don't do that. You know exactly what I mean.
You see like a kind of a devilish smile kind of like spreads across her face, and like she goes to walk and it's kind of blurry. It's like vroom,
Okay.
And she's kind of on the other side of like near Coda, and she's like, I don't know, it's just it's a place where we house things and hang out and talk, and I read books and they quarrel, and you know how it is.
Are you a guild?
Are you a guild? And like, she like speeds up and she's like sitting in between Coda's horns, the threads that have now like kind of created this like mischief or makeshift bridge. She's like sitting on it, like poking Coda in the forehead, kind of like, are you a guild? Who do you work for? You're kind of dodgy looking. Not to be racist, and it's just like,
I'm not dodgy. I don't work for anyone. We're not a guild.
I don't know. Look at those eyes. You're hiding something, Buster.
You're not to talk.
To be fair, I'm not hiding anything. You're like in the room that we all like operate out of. So like, if anyone's hiding anything,
we were
guys,
invited. So. We didn't. We were invited here by your friend.
So like, he kind of like dangles down in front of Coda, so like the tiny face is like in between Coda's kind of thing. And she's like, Murray, I can't believe you brought him here. And like the masked individual is like, don't call me Murray, and do me a favor, and a bed and breakfast is the least I could do for saving my life. She's like, I don't know, Murray, they seem like, I don't trust this one. And she's like poking Coda like in the just at the top of the nose, kind of in between the eyes, like kind of abruptly, like just poking. And the distorted looking dwarf is like mumbles something under his breath, and like the masked individual is like, just relax, would you, for fuck's sake, please.
Listen, we're not here to do anyone any harm. It's just this guy stole from me, and I wanted to get my money back. That's why we're here.
At this declaration, like the creature that's on Coda's face, the distorted dwarf, they just both like lock up, and their heads kind of in unison rotate towards the masked figure, and they're like, they could see you. And the masked one's like, yeah, they could see me. And they're like, I thought you said no one can see you when you do that. And he's like, well, the only people I know who can see me when we do it is other people who can do it, so I don't know. And like the creature on Coda's like head like zips down over to like the masked figure's shoulder, like rapier drawn. It's like it's them that come to get us.
But we haven't come to get anyone. We don't know what we did. We just.
And I will remind you, we were brought here. It's not like we busted down the weird makeshift chalk door or anything.
Yeah, like the masked individual is like, just stand down, Jeroni, just stand down. And the dwarf kind of like it looks really on edge, but they're like, he's like, okay, and just goes back to like patching up this, like essentially like stitching up the back of this guy's head. And he's like, oh, I think you're gonna lose a bit of hair back there, bud. The masked guy's like, oh, well, I always was such a good-looking guy. And like stands up and kind of like gestures for the two of you to like, like, all right, let's go sit down. It kind of like gestures, like kind of like, follow me.
As they follow them, kind of like, you still haven't explained any of what this is, of who you are. Or
you guys can't be just thieves.
We're traders, says the dwarf. We acquire things, we sell them. You know how it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of traders upstairs, and none of them act like you.
Well, they trade in such mundane items. We are procurers of exotic goods, and we dispense those goods to clients who pay hefty amounts for it.
Oh, really? Then why'd you got your man over here cutting purses?
Well, that's his business. We just sell odd items, but he likes to go out on little extra runs, You know how it is. Mages and their price tags.
And how do people find you to make a deal? Because you're sort of hidden out of the way down here.
Oh, this is just down here. If people want to, buy something, they come to me. And the dwarf pauses.
Does your establishment have a name?
Oh, Oswald's odds and ends. It's nothing fancy.
And you
Are
must
you
be
Oswald?
Oswald.
Oh, I'm Oswald one day, and Yultha another day. And as he says this, you see his body like warps and changes, and he takes on the form of it appears to be kind of like a really lanky, elongated, kind of like elven man with a similar enough pointy, hooked up towards his nose, ginger and kind of blonde streaked beard, and his hair is kind of like slicked back, but kind of like rises up into a hook, or lowers down into a hook that points behind. So it's kind of like a big S shape from the side profile view. Really kind of pointy features, high cheekbones, really pointy nose, really pointy ears, really like pointy shoulders, kind of like very angular. And he's like, whatever they need, that's what I am. But yeah, no, you come to me, I'll get you what you need. You want to buy something weird? I got plenty of weird.
Coda kind of knows he shouldn't, but he's looking around, kind of like, oh, I wonder if there's any cool things here I can buy.
Yeah, there's like jars of like weird. They look like body parts, and there's like a jar of like these like kind of really big, thick, chunky worms that have like teeth and are kind of all gnawing towards Coda when he looks at them. That sort of thing, like in unison, like chomp, 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 chomp.
He takes a few steps away.
Yeah, that's fair. And you hear the tiny creature be like, "You see, don't touch the grubs, man. They'll eat you. They'll burrow inside and."
No, I have no intention of touching the grubs. No.
Good, because we're selling them, and
To
they go
whom?
for I don't know, some halflings in the capital. They want them for reasons. She does like a big over-exaggerated.
Is it mostly strange gnawing creatures and body parts you sell, or do you have other sort of wares?
Trinkets and what have yous, really. You know what they say, another man's treasure in an unlocked room that we just picked is our product.
I haven't heard that saying before.
It's from my native land of not from here. Tea?
Sure. Well, that depends. What kind of tea?
Green?
Not made of any worms or body parts, no?
I mean, is that what you drink? I could
No,
probably
no,
make something
no.
like that. Okay. So yeah, you guys are essentially led into like this kind of makeshift kitchen sort of thing. And yeah, it looks like it's been kind of used a bit. It's like the bare essentials. Someone's clearly been neglecting the cleaning up of the pots and pans. But they all sit down kind of around this like kind of worn and run down dinner table. And they like the one who referred to himself as Oswald, he pulls over like a very large crate and kind of like pushes over a smaller box and kind of gestures for people to just make yourselves at home.
Would it be possible, I don't know what I'd roll, but to try and like figure out what Girani is and also maybe what Oswald is?
Yeah, it'll be 2 separate rolls because it's 2 individuals, but Arcana.
It's really annoying because I know what Girani is. Like,
I love when that happens so much.
Well, that was first one was for Girani, second one was for Oswald.
You don't know much about like the specifics, but you have heard tales as a young child that will come and like steal your teeth or hide your gold on you. But she's a quickling. Teeny tiny fey creatures that are kind of like mischievous and kind of like mean, but they wouldn't like kill you despite being like personified as kind of like these devilish tricksters that like kidnap kids sometimes, that sort of thing.
Cool.
Oswald, yeah, you ain't got to read on.
maybe a changeling or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I'm not sure.
And Murray, who doesn't like to be called Murray, he hasn't like taken his mask off yet.
No, 100% that mask has stayed on the entire time. Even like when Oswald like puts a cup of tea in front of him, he just like pushes it away slightly. Because he clearly can't drink it, like that sort of thing. And like when he pushes away, Oswald kind of looks at him and rolls his eyes like, ugh.
Does it seem like he can take the mask off?
Oh yeah, there's 100% straps like at the sides.
Oh,
He probably just
okay.
doesn't want to show us his face for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Maybe he's like disfigured or something. Would be my guess, but I don't know. How long have you been in business together? How did this all happen?
When you're like, how long have we been in business together? It's like the one known as Murray ? Is like 6 years. Oswald's like 25 years, and the Quickling is like 3 weeks. And they all like kind of look at each other and they're like,
Cute.
but sorry, Coda, you had a second part.
But just like, how did they all meet and like start this whole thing? Kind of.
He's like, oh, Oswald kind of like is like nursing the tea and it's like, well, it's actually kind of weird. And like,
Really? Imagine.
Johnny's like, well, some asshole lord had me in a jar because apparently they think having what they thought was a pixie in a jar brought them good luck. But he was an idiot. But then he's like, murr, and like the eyes, like the hazel eyes, look over, and it's like, he, broke in one night and stole me, and pawned me to him. And Oswald was like, hey, you could be helpful because you're quick and fast, and buzz around, and it kind of just became like, hey, where'd you find this, little person? Oh, really? You have a knack for finding magical items? Wanna go into, and bada bing, bada boom. And we've been working together for 2 days, and it's like 2 days, 4 weeks, like 3 years.
Anywhere between 2 days and 25 years, yes.
And like Droney's like, hey, it catches on pretty quick.
And do the officials here, are they aware of your business, or is this a secret trade?
They live underground in a chalk door. I don't think anyone knows about it.
Oh, no, we don't live under. What? Why? What makes you say we live here?
You have your tea here in your kitchen.
You don't have a break room where you work?
No.
I worked where I lived.
We have a very bad boss.
Yeah, no, it's just like, sometimes you're taking stock and you want a cup of tea. Yeah, it's not weird. And then Oswald's like looking at like the mask guy and he's like, is it weird? Weird? That's not weird, is it? And the mask guy's just like, oh, I have a concussion.
She's going to turn to Murray, who doesn't like to be called Murray. Like, what his
the one
deal
we will
is.
not
Like,
call Murray.
the one we will not refer to as Murray.
He who was not be named Murray.
Like, she's gonna say, like, so what's your deal? Like, it doesn't seem like ordinary invisibility that you're casting, because we wouldn't have been able to see you unless we were actively looking for you. But it seemed like no one else could tell you were there.
Droney's like, yes, our dear Prometheus, tell them. And like, hazel eyes kind of look over and like, if looks could kill, like Droney would be 6 feet under. Like,
Isn't her kind of repeats herself, Prometheus?
Hazel eyes looks over and looks at Izzy and he's like, well, you hail from the capital. Let's just say my magic hails, or is borrowed from the capital. I've got important work that needs doing, and it's better for everyone if I go unnoticed. The only thing is, you need to be noticed by traders to trade. Traders need money. Study and research and study requires apparatus, ingredients, compounds, etc. So I make a quick buck every now and again.
Well, you don't make it.
I mean, technically make.
Can you choose to be seen, or are you always invisible to most people?
Yeah, I can choose. It's just I tend to choose not to be seen.
And when you say you borrowed this magic from the capital, were you a member of the guilds, or did you break in and take it?
At this question, he straightens up and he's like, oh, and kind of just like looks at his cup.
Well, I don't know, that's why I was asking, but if you don't want to talk about it, that's alright.
So where do you come from?
Or did they not give you a choice?
At the concept of not having a choice, like that whole like, did they not give you a choice? Like although you can't see Hazel Eye's face, like they definitely kind of look like kind of disgusted at the concept of not having a choice, and he kind of just grunts. And Oswald's like, so where do you guys come from? What brings you to our fair city?
Isadora will remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That was a good read. I didn't pick up on that. That's good.
But yes, Oswald's like, so where do you guys come from? You come from the capital, and you kind of like eyes Hazel Eyes, and Hazel Eyes is like looking like kind of still got that like really like. Like irritated, disgusted look, and he's like, "So the capital, traitors?" he's like, "Please answer."
Yeah.
There are those who might call us traitors.
Traders.
I know that's purely because Laura misheard me, but I just wanted to be like, traitors.
Traitors, you say. To shreds, you say.
I'm so confused. I was like, why is he saying that? Traders. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, traders, like merchants. Sorry, merchants is probably the word he'd use, but yes, merchants. Because like Orion is meant to be like, the land of trading.
Once upon a time.
Really? Like,
travelers.
He's like, travelers, but like when Coda's like once upon a time, Oswald's eyes light up. He's like, what did you trade in?
Gadgets, trinkets, similar enough to you, I suppose.
He's like, were you any good at it? And he's leaning forward, and Coda, when he asked this question, you 100% feel a foot rub your leg.
Oh! Oh my god!
He's like, did you make lots of money, like?
He's like completely like paralyzed, like. No, I was very bad. I'm not a merchant anymore. I gave it all up.
We're just looking at him like more nervous than usual.
Simple travelers. Wanted to see the sights.
When Coda's like, oh, we gave it up, like in Ux's ramble, like the foot disappears and he kind of straightens back up and he's like, well, I suppose a commendable choice, I suppose.
Jesus.
So, what brings you to our fair city? Are you staying well? Are you signing up for anything? Are you gonna join one of the many guilds we got?
We came to see friends and just to get a look at the place. Neither of us have ever been by the sea before.
Really? And Jeroni's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? Where have you lived?
Around obviously Uria, and then we were more around the mountains.
Oh, interesting. But what friends you going? Do we know? We could know. Probably know. Who would know?
You ever heard of the Torchbearers?
Jeroni's like, that sounds very dramatic. They seem theater kids. And Oswald's like Oswald cocks an eyebrow, but is like, I'm drinking my tea. And Hazel Eyes is just like, God, I'm awake.
I'm awake. They're followers of Pelor. We've encountered them a couple of times, and we think they might be based here, so we thought we'd just check up on them.
Ah, the sun god, very noble.
Out of character, the last time we saw the Torchbearers was like in Dagdom after the desert, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Anyway.
Like, pre the first return to Uria, pre the Red Forest, pre Dead Man's Haven, like, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long road. It's like, I thought you came to, like, see the ship graveyard of all those scary giants.
Oh, so those rumors are true, huh?
Oh, dear, yes. By all means, sail out into the ocean and count to 10. Boom! He makes me...
How's that affecting your trade?
Oh, well, most of our things are procured on land, but, some shit... Well... He's like, how do I... and, like, Hazel Eyes looks up and he's like, we've bled the ships dry, there's no more good cargo on them.
not exactly what I was asking about, but so no one, no like trade is going in or out.
No, we're sitting ducks. It seems. The mayor is very adamant on solving the issue. He keeps sending watchmen into the hills, and well, the watch force is getting smaller and smaller.
And they're in the hills. They're not like out on the bay.
No, these the rock giants or something. And then the quickling's like, yeah, no, well, if they're like living in the hills made of rocks and they're giants, it's safe to assume, Oswald, they're rock giants. And he's like, I was just making sure. And kind of like shoots her daggers and like looks back to Izzy and Conan. He's like, yeah, no, ships sail out, gigantic gargantuan arrows fly down, ship goes.
Anyone knows why they're doing this?
No clue. It honestly happened like, quite literally out of nowhere. Like, we went to bed one day and the next morning they were just gunning down any ship that tried to leave port. It was really out of the blue, and we've talked to the mayor and he's assured, well, I haven't personally, but it's more like we listened to the town criers and overheard people moan in the streets. But yeah, no, apparently the mayor's on it and trying to like negotiate with them, and they keep sending people up there with like white flags and we're here to negotiate. And yeah, well, those people don't really come back. So, and then Droney's like, "Oh, grind your bones to make me bread." A little jig on the table, and Oswald's like, "Oh, yes, that." And then Droney looks at the two of you and says, "Got any books for sale? Like spell books? Anything magical?"
Don't have any spell books and nothing for sale, unfortunately.
I'm kind of like digging through Henry, but I don't think I have anything that's like.
I mean, unless you trade in, more common goods, and she'll show them like what like the gems and things she got from that like bandit horde to see if they're willing to like buy them.
I was like, "Ooh, there's some." Sorry, darling, we don't trade in jewelry. Well, we do. It's more like there's not that best of market at the current time. The current climate of the city is very much magical trinkets and or food. But
yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, we passed through the market. It still seemed pretty busy. How are people still staying in business?
Well, there's plenty of fish in the sea, and he kind of laughs at his own like joke. But he's like, there's a lot of I just realized it's not on this map. God damn it, it's an outdated.
It's okay.
I don't have the note, but it's the goddess of the sea. I can't remember her name. But it's like we have plenty of clerics of them. I can't remember her name, but I'll look it up. And they can purify and create food, and it's more like making sure the current food we have doesn't go off. And to be fair, there's a lot of foresty areas. Like we have a lot of like hunter-gatherer types that go out in droves with carts, and they seem to always come back with loads of food. Actually, now that I think about it, and then he kind of like looks up and he's like, "There must be a friggin' gold mine somewhere." Yeah, there's a lot of fruit outside the city. What the fuck?
Do you trade with other towns, or are you self-sufficient here?
As far as I know, we do. I assume we do. Like Orion's meant to be like the city of trade and stuff, and we're always sending stuff off to the capital, and the capital's already. Maybe that's where we're getting the fruit from. The capital. I don't know. And he's kind of like lost in a train of thought. He's like, he snaps back, and he's like, I assume so. The carts come in and out every day. Like it's pretty much like standard practice to see like droves of carts and transports coming in and out, transporting foods, goods, or metals, whatever, what have you. It's not going anywhere, which is kind of weird. And like him saying it out loud, he kind of cops it, and he's like, "That's pretty peculiar."
I mean, it's just we heard about giants attacking a city and blocking the ports, and kind of expected things to look a little worse off.
Oswald's like, "Yeah, now that you say out loud, yeah, that's genuinely concerning."
Like
slowly looks up.
Glad that people seem to be okay, but
yeah, no, like it's kind of one of those things that like you don't really kind of see it until someone points it out, and he's like genuinely looks like, what the? And he looks over at like Hazel Eyes, and Hazel's like, looks up and he meets his gaze and he's like, we'll just add it to the pile.
Pile.
And Oswald's kind of, he does research. And he kind of looks like...
Coda like lights up a little bit like, ooh, research? What sort of research?
Give me a persuasion check, Coda. Coax him out of his shell.
Rub your foot on his leg.
Ah, shit. I have inspiration, can I add that?
You can indeed.
What a waste of my inspiration.
Wow.
Can I try and... It's probably too late now, but can I try and, like, aid myself a little bit by, like, taking out a bunch of my journals out of Henry and be like, I'm a bit of a researcher myself, and I start going on this big thing about, like, you know, how I'm a big science nerd, and try and, like, plead my case that way. And pointing to Henry, and just be like, yeah, I love research.
Yeah, Oswald's been eyeing Henry up, and he's like, what is that?
That's Henry. I mean, that's my, sentient storage unit.
Sentient storage unit. Called Henry.
Well, sentient storage unit was a bit of a mouthful, so I just named him Henry.
One of a kind?
I hope so, unless someone's been
And
stealing
you
my designs.
feel that leg upon thy leg.
Isadora looks Oswald straight in the eye and says very seriously, Henry's a good boy.
Henry's like licking Isadora.
She pats him.
Henry's a good storage boy. Not like those
a
evil
good,
dirty
helpful
boys.
boy.
Soft boy, square boy.
But yes, I made him in my free time.
In my image.
My image.
Oh, wow.
I have a very distorted self-perception.
That is a Pandora's box that we're gonna.
He is a Pandora. I should have named him Pandora.
Yeah, I was really hoping you would.
You gave me the name Hungry Henry.
Yeah, but I also gave you a gun, and I don't know.
Look it up, Trinette.
No,
Don't blame
Kabiri
me
gave
for
me
your
a gun.
crimes.
You didn't give me a gun.
Look, a gun. Anyway, yeah, at this kind of like flood of like, look at all these notes I have. Hazel kind of looks over and he's like, "What kind of research?"
Well, I mostly engineering and inventing, but I'm very interested in everything really. Wherever we go, I take copious notes, as my companion here will attest. I'm just very interested in knowledge and learning and new things, undiscovered things.
The man known as Hazel Eyes puts like kind of like both arms on the table, like resting his elbows, that like fucking like joining his fingers together, that kind of a anime pose. What's his name from the anime? Yeah, there we go. That's one. And he's like inventing.
Yes.
He's like, you hail from the city. And his voice kind of goes a little bit darker, and he's like, "And you invent."
I'm not affiliated with the guilds or the hand or the mechanists. I'm a hobbyist, not a professional. I invent for myself,
hobbyist.
not for any particular buyer.
It's around Hazel Eyes. It's almost like everything around kind of distorts and kind of is pulled slightly towards, kind of like elongated, like a smidge. It's kind of like distorted, and he's like eyeing, like he hasn't blinked the second Coda says all this. Like his eyes are like piercing into Coda, and he doesn't seem quite convinced.
I take it you're not a big fan of the guilds.
Look, this is something he just does for himself. If we were associated with him, why would we come down here? Why would I heal you? Look, you have every reason, like, we're strangers to you. I understand you don't completely trust us, but we're not your enemy.
Can I have a persuasion check with advantage, because both of you were kind of like pleading your case?
Yeah. And she's speaking directly to him as she...
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
She's not overly worried about the others, yes. $23.
Yeah, as Izzy says, like this, like Hazel kind of blinks, and like you can see Oswald's kind of put his hand on like his bicep area, and he's like, he just kind of nods, and Hazel Eyes kind of like just lowers his hands a little, and he's like, "Do you invent regularly?"
Whenever I get the chance. Why?
Just curious.
But I could.
It could be tough with us traveling so much.
And your passion for invention does not hinder your travels in these lands? Watchful eyes never turn to you?
It's mention of like watchful eyes. He's a little unsettled, but yeah. I mean, we've certainly drawn some attention from some people, but I'm as Isadora said, it's a hobby. It's not I mean, and he's kind of like looking at her like, help me. This man's gonna eat me.
I mean, what do you mean by attention?
Is there not talk of unification? There's these guilds. Are they not rounding up the inventors? Is that not what they do?
I politely declined any membership.
I mean, you talk about unification. Unifications happen, like, out of character, unification happened months ago, didn't it?
Correctamundo, friendo.
Yeah, she said unification between the guilds happened months ago, and they didn't bat an eye in regards to this guy. They just kind of... I mean, pardon the phrase, but they just left him to his own devices. They're not... I mean, the only inventors they're interested in are the ones that were... Really.
It's kind of hard to get a read on his reaction from this, because you can only see his eyes, and his head's kind of tilted a smidge, because he seems to genuinely be a bit drained from the whole, like, process of like,
yeah, he got a concussion. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's kind of thing. And like Oswald's kind of like again, eyebrow is up, and he's kind of like listening to you guys talk, and he's like, I think you've been disconnected from the world a bit. And you catch him go to say a name, and he's like, buddy. And like Hazel just grunts.
If you're worried about us having any loyalty to the guilds, I assure you that's not the case.
Oh, don't worry. Oswald kind of sighs. Like, it'll be grand. It normally always is, anyway. I mean, we accidentally let like a bunch of Caius worms out in here one day, and hey, world didn't end.
Isidore makes a face at that.
Yeah, we're having like bad memories.
Oswald stands and he's like, right, and he like looks at like Hazel, and he's like, you need to rest. And he's like, I can't do that. And he's like, you need to rest, stop doing the whole macho thing. And he's like, I quite literally, I can't sleep if I have a concussion. And he's like, oh right, okay. All right. He's completely deflated. He's like, oh, well.
Carlo can like pull a little healing potion out of Henry and just like, do you need if you need help, you're welcome to take this.
He looks the potion over as if like really curious, and he's like, no, you keep them. They're actually quite rare these days, so. Well, in Orion anyway. Yeah, he's like, we got alchemists, but potions, especially potions like that. And he like blatantly is like the healing potion in your hand. He's like, yeah, no, they're rare, man. Don't know what it is, but the supply for what makes solid, juicy potions is running pretty low.
Well, we did sort of cause you a concussion, so if you need, you probably need it more than we do.
Hazel like stands, and as he stands, he's like kind of just like brushing like the idea away, kind of with his hand haphazardly. And he's like, "You patched me up. We're square, just." And he's like, "I'll show you to where you can rest." And Oswald's like, "I'll come with." And Jeroni's like, "I'm just gonna stay here." She's like poking. Basically, it's like just a biscuit, and she's like, cut like tiny pieces off it with her tiny rapier and is just eating it because like a biscuit to her is like a fucking goddamn pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like cool. And she's just sitting on the table minding her own business, and you guys are kind of like essentially like stood up, and there's a door at the back, and they kind of like gesture to be like, follow us. As you walk through this room, kind of looks like it was just looks like another kind of haphazard storage room. Like it looks like if like a sitting room that just wasn't furnished, that they just kind of stored boxes in, and some of the like crates kind of rattle left and right kind of thing, and there's very soft breathing coming from them and such. And it's straight ahead. You guys are being led towards a door. There is a door to your right that has like locks and such on it, but it is slightly ajar.
Is that supposed to be open?
Sorry, Isadora points this out. Oswald's kind of kind of lost for words, and you see with a flick of his wrist, Hazel Eyes kind of like flicks his wrist and clenches his fist, kind of like almost angrily, and the door like slams shut, and like all the locks go like on the like the padlocks kind of like lock themselves.
Hope it doesn't got out.
He stops stride for a second, and Oswald's kind of like in stride and just puts his hand on his shoulder and keeps like, come on. But you guys are essentially led to like a side room, and there's kind of like these haphazard cots all around, like kind of is like essentially like military cots. They don't look too nice. And Oswald turns to you and he's like, right, you can get some shut-eye here and get like hop out at nighttime, or if you want, we can just let you back out on the street and you can go to the Albatross. And like he steps forward and he like looks Izzy and Coda over and he's like, what's your friends, the bearers, the light bearers?
Torch bearers.
Yeah, that's the blue dude with the horns like you, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't know him personally, but I've seen him around. They hang out with the Albatross like a lot.
Oh,
I actually
good.
think they might have a
That's
room.
great.
I think they might actually have a room there. I'm not too sure, but it's your call. And he kind of looks at like a sundial, or not a sundial, an hourglass that's in the corner, and he's like, "Yeah, it's still midday. Do you guys just want to like head out onto the street, or do you want to take a rest? Because he needs to lie down, not lie down, but you know what I mean."
Out of character, were we traveling all night, or are we did we sleep at night and we've only been here a few hours kind of thing? Like,
you guys slept. You guys would have rested and like essentially arrived at Orion at like say like 11:30 in the day. Like it's about 4 p.m. kind of thing.
So yeah,
Well,
we can keep going then.
It's a case of like this isn't like if you guys essentially choose to rest, you can rest. That's cool. But it's a case of if people are just like, no, we'll go topside. We can still leave it there. That kind of thing. It's not a case of it means to keep playing.
Yeah,
It's
actually, like in character, Isidore wouldn't really be comfortable resting here.
No, and if she kind of says like, "Oh no, we'll head on," like, kind of like, yeah, we'll just go and meet the torch.
Yeah, no, like we appreciate the offer. It was nice to. Well, no, yeah, she goes to say it was nice to meet. No, it wasn't like the best introduction, so I'm not going to say it was nice to meet you, but it was interesting to meet you.
Yes, that's the right word for it. Interesting.
But I think we're going to head back up if that's okay.
Oswald nods and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's understandable," and like turns to the road figure. He's like, "You want to do the honors?" And like he nods and he walks towards like just any old brick wall, and like with really quick movements draws like pretty much a door frame. But when he does like a full door frame now, a door literally materializes, and you can see like this weird ash and dust appears at the rims and kind of like falls just at the edges if there was a door there, that kind of thing. And he pushes it forward, and there's like you can hear like the seaside, and you can hear people talking, and it's quite clearly like facing like the opposite side of an alley wall. And he turns and gestures to be like, "Your city?"
I'm sorry, we didn't catch your name.
He hesitates, and Oswald's like, "There's no harm in it." And he's like, "Murtal."
Spell that there? Murtal.
Murtal. And he gestures to like, you may leave at your leisure.
Yeah, I'll kind of like bow and like sorry again for the introduction, but thank you for inviting us down.
Best of luck. Stay out of trouble, Myrtle. Through the door.
Yeah, that's good. He doesn't kind of respond to the like statement, but as Coda passes him by, he says, "The sky. I researched the sky," and he's like, "May the wind be always at your back," kind of thing, and he closes the door. Not with a slam, but it's more just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And it's
He's
closes,
tired of
it
us
seals.
now.
Yeah, he's done.
I mean,
It
you can only
closes-
take so much of us. Like, we're bite-sized chunks kind of people. You can't take too much of us at once.
You guys stare at this door as it closes, it dematerializes, and a faint, like, dusty line appears and falls to the ground. And, it clicks in your head where you've seen this before. In that alley outside Rose.
Ooh.
Like that alley that your man directed us to.
Remember
No.
the guy who was investigating the missing Warforged? The Warforged ran down the alley, didn't come out the other side, and we saw the outline of a door, but not a door.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So this is definitely, Urian magic. Mages Guild bullshit. Ooh, maybe we can get Chalk off him and go back to Urian and open all the secret doors. Secret extra
door.
bonus levels! Yeah!
I'm going to collect all the apples to unlock a
Yeah,
a
we
new
gotta
costume.
unlock all the. Yeah! We go into the bonus door in the alleyway and it's just like a new costumes room and you get like a little crown or something.
But yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. You essentially guys step out. Well, after seeing this and whatever reactions characters have to it, essentially step forward afterwards onto the busy streets. You find yourselves kind of like at the edge of what looks like the market district area. There's certainly stalls and people trying to sell them, and there's a sign pointing like to the right, to your east, is towards the Albatross. So we can like leave it there and we can pick it up there.
Cool. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Cool.
Cool. Alrighty, guys.
Alright, good game. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, good game.